And we are live. Welcome to the first inaugural NFL draft party with Woodward Sports, and it's a pleasure to be here with everybody. Thank you guys for stopping by and watching hopefully historic night for the Detroit Lions.
Let's hope.
Yeah, my name is Stick. To my right, we have an NFL draft expert in Scott Bischoff, and then to my further right, we just have the legend, Sean Baligian, whose wife stopped by the studio today to wish him luck, got him well nourished, and he's ready to go tonight.
I love this. This is Stick. Honestly, when you're talking about big sporting events, this is near the very top of big sporting events every year, especially in Detroit. I know the old bit is it's Detroit's Super Bowl, but hopefully they plant some seeds for a future Super Bowl. There.
It's just very exciting. It's an opportunity to add talent and new faces, fresh faces, and to reset the franchise and move it forward.
Speaking of new faces and fresh faces, Joey is in the VIP lounge right now. He's got his backdrop ready. He's got some people that are hanging out for the draft party right now. And by the way, we are live at Delmar in Detroit, Greektown. You can come on down and hang out. Joey, what's going on? Who you got with you, man?
So I'm going to start it off, and I'm going to talk to the guys. What's your name?
I'm Drew.
Ladies, how you doing? What's your name?
Woo! I'm Kelson.
Debbie.
Evelyn.
Francesca.
And I got a question. Who do you guys want the Detroit Lions to draft at pick number 7?
Don't ask. Drew Heenan. Someone cute.
Hey, did she just shout out that dude over there? Are you Drew Heenan? There you go.
Wow.
Oh, man. So, yeah,
tight end?
Yeah, apparently he's got a tight end. She
tight
appreciates it. There's a bunch of tight ends over there.
Wide receiver?
Yeah.
Either way.
So, yeah, we're going to be catching up with Joey throughout the night tonight. He's going to be over there doing his thing and walking around the Delmar, getting people's attention. And it's just going to be a fun night here, man. And I really hope things go well for the Lions as we see Rashawn Slater walking into the NFL draft right now. I think we're all in agreement who we three want, right?
Well, it depends what happens 1 through 7. I mean, and now as we get closer to the draft, the intrigue was at 4, in my opinion, Scott. It was, what is Atlanta going to do? Now I think maybe, Scott, it's at 3 with all the revelations about the San Francisco 49ers. Regardless, I think there are 2 chips that you have to wait to fall on. Scott, I want to get your take. Where does Pitts fall?
Yeah.
Where does Chase fall? And then things start to clear themselves up. It may not happen till pick 6,
Possibly,
but things clear themselves up.
We could see Pitts at 4. If there's no trade option for Atlanta, we could see Chase at 5. And then the draft sort of gets wide open from that point. What does Miami do? The Aaron Rodgers news from earlier today is just...
How sexy was that?
Zack Wilson, were you talking about?
No, I'm talking about Aaron Rodgers getting the
minute.
fuck out of the NFC North. How nice would that be? My God, it's like a dream come true.
Go to Jeopardy and just be gone.
Yeah, just be gone,
See
man.
ya.
Like you don't talk to your
Tired of your
family. You
shit.
can go ahead and not talk to the Packers the rest of your life too. And what is it with the Packers, like taking these guys? Like we feel bad when Barry Sanders walks away, when Calvin Johnson walks away. They have all-time Hall of Fame quarterbacks that leave that place pissed off. If that was us, we treat those guys like they'd have statues.
But
I don't feel too sorry for them, though, because
I
those
don't
sons
either.
of bitches won Super Bowls.
I could care less about them. It's, when you go from Favre to Rodgers, I don't think you should be complaining about anything.
Nothing.
No.
Tired of them.
But that's how spoiled Packers fans are. But let's focus on the Lions tonight. I mean, we got some prop bets going on. I want to run these past you guys.
Do we think so? Real quick, do we think trade down is in the works?
Yes.
Do we want trade down?
Yes.
I want trade down, but from my understanding, the Lions are asking too much when teams are calling them. So far they haven't. And I say good.
Good.
Yes, I say good.
I'm with you.
Make them pay for it. You want to move up? You want this pick? You want your man? Guess what? You got to pay
It's
through
going to
the
be
Lions.
costly.
Yep.
Hey, what? And you know the way that I look at it, Stick, is, okay, what's the consolation prize? Penny Sewell,
Right.
Rashawn Slater,
Micah Parsons.
Oh no, but yeah, I mean everybody else but Micah Parsons.
Oh,
How's
listen,
that?
what, at like 25 you wouldn't
Yes,
take that guy?
yes,
That's
at
what
25.
I'm saying, if
Yeah,
they
at
moved
25.
back. I'm not saying at 7.
No, what I'm saying, Stick, is the consolation prize if you have to stay at 7. Penny Sewell. Are you kidding me? Rashawn Slater? I'm fine with that. In the meantime, do everything you can to move down. Sure.
Yeah. They're asking a lot, and they should be asking for a lot.
You can set the price inflated. It can be too high a price, and you can come off of that a little and make them feel like they're getting a deal.
Right.
I think that, that's what I do when I go to the store. People try to sell me stuff, and I don't need it, but as soon as they lower the price, I'm buying it.
Well, let's go over these prop bets that we got right now for the Lions. First pick, minus 300 offense, plus 230 defense. Where do you guys see them going? And I guess that has a lot to do with where they're picking.
For me, it's I would take the offensive side of that unless they trade down. If they trade down into the teens, I would explore the defensive side of the ball.
Okay.
No, I agree with you. And Stick, here's the interesting point. Let me remind people, there are 7 rounds of a draft, and I get that the Lions were historically bad defensively. You don't have to use pick 7, especially where, in my opinion, this year the value at 7 is an offensive player.
Yes.
Yeah, even though 4 or 5 quarterbacks may be going before that pick. That's what's crazy is the amount of talent outside of the quarterback position that's going to fall.
You're right.
Like, there's going to push down so much talent this year that teams picking 15, 16 are going to get some damn good players.
Yeah, and I mean, to that point, that's how Sewell's going to end up. If he ends up a Lion, it'll be because the quarterbacks were a touch inflated this year.
Yeah. Well, I'm looking around our draft party right now, and it's so cool to have pretty much the whole Woodward Sports family here. I mean, Fish is here with Fish's parents. If you see the lady right behind Scott Bischoff right now, like right there,
Duck?
That's Fish's mom.
Wrong way.
Fish's mom is here, and Fish's dad. Chad Johnson
hairline.
is here. We got Nick Leach. We got Easy. We got Joey. I mean, it's D-Max here. Joik is over there already playing Madden, so I don't even know if we're going to be able to talk to Joik tonight. But
should we be talking to Joik right now about how running backs just don't matter anymore?
Oh, God. Isn't that crazy?
It's incredible.
Isn't that crazy?
It's incredible.
Najee Harris may not go in the first round.
It's crazy.
That is insane to me.
We've talked about Javonte Williams before.
Dude, he's my favorite.
He would be a pretty dynamic player in Buffalo.
And I even think Michael Carter, his handcuff at North Carolina, he's going to be a great running back if he falls into the right position.
That was an interesting prop bet. Smoke Show Mike is here tonight as well, and he has a prop bet.
Yep, there he is.
He bet. Where is he?
Right there.
Hi, Mike. How are you? He bet 1.5 over the 1.5 Stick on running backs in the first round.
Okay.
That's really that's a bet.
Well, only one won last year in
That's
CEH.
bold. Yep.
And that was what, the 32nd pick?
Yep.
I mean, he was flirting with it last year. And it's crazy because I do like the running back class that is coming out this year. I don't mind these guys.
You know what we haven't mentioned?
They're good.
How good was Travis Etienne?
Right.
Yes.
He was phenomenal at Clemson.
And people are throwing away Chuba Hubbard just because he had a bad season this year. He had a pretty damn good season 2 years ago.
And he is fast.
Yeah.
Big and fast.
And they're just throwing him away like the guy's going to go in the 4th round.
It's amazing.
He could. He would be a player I think would be very interesting as part of a committee.
Yeah. Some other prop bets going on. First pick, wide receiver, plus 100. Linebacker, plus 500. Quarterback, plus 550. That's kind of an interesting line to me. An offensive line, 550 as well. So pretty much the same odds for them to get a quarterback, offensive lineman, or linebacker. They're really favoring wide receiver. Do you think that's because of the rumor to move up to get Jamar Chase?
Yeah, I think there's some of it. I honestly think that's more about their roster makeup right now than anything.
Right.
There's a hole there, and it's not just in one spot. It's not just you don't just need one receiver.
Right.
You need multiple receivers. So in this draft, there are premium guys at the top: Jamar Chase, Jalen Waddle. Devontae Smith is going to be. It's going to be interesting to see where that all unfolds with his frame. Elijah Moore from Ole Miss is a really good player.
That's my guy, man.
Where do you think he's going to go?
I think he'll fall mid-20s. I think he's got a chance to go there. I like him.
He could
like
be
Rashad
wide receiver
Bateman.
3.
Yeah,
he could be.
He's shifty, man. And the way the NFL's going with the pass-friendly offense and using your gadget players like a gadget, he's a perfect gadget guy for anybody, any creative OC.
Well, and that's the interesting thing. I mean, this is why people like me, and Scott, I know you do as well, I always say there's value to be had. Those are guys that can be had later. And even getting into the second and third round, there are so many talented wide receivers out there that you can address something else in the first round. You really can. What we don't know, and what we'll probably find out either in a couple hours or maybe a few days from now, is we don't know what the Lions think about the quarterbacks. Look, I'm going to say it again. What if, let's play a game of pretend, Brad Holmes and his entire staff are drooling over Trey Lance and they think that this guy is going to be all that. Is that a possibility? While I don't think it's going to happen, it's there, it's real, it's something that you have to consider, and I think it's a testament as well to Brad Holmes being like this, which every general man, leave everybody guessing what the heck you're going to do.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, we've heard of the rumors of them going up to 4, and it couldn't do it because of the price. We've heard about them being involved with the trade backs. The one that's interesting is the New Orleans rumor from earlier, jumping into the top 10. And I think that screams Lions. I don't know that there's another team in the top 10 that would be willing, in any case, to go back as far as they are, other than Detroit.
Yeah, as long as they're stockpiling for next year, and that's really the plan. Like, all right, this is Jared Goff's audition. We're giving him 17 games, and we're going to hopefully get somebody that can produce this year in the first round, and we'll move on from there. Next year with 3 first-round picks, you can totally transform a culture with that.
You can, and at pick 28, that's right in the wheelhouse of where like Eli Moore slips there.
Yes.
He's a dynamic player. He would help you right away. But Terrace Marshall, I know there's some injury stuff with him. Rashad Bateman, you mentioned from Minnesota. I think he may go to Green Bay. He's an interesting story. He had COVID this year, and the 2020 season was just not very kind to him. His 2019 film is significantly better than the 2020 film, and the 2019 stuff, he is a first-round player. So for him to be available in this draft in the 20s is, there's value there with him as a player, as long as he gets back to the 2019 form.
I got to get to the most important thing. Who the hell did these graphics?
I wish we could put a camera on him right now.
Is that Smooth with a V?
Adam and Justin have been busting their ass. And not only Mikey TikTok's been pulling clips, so we're going to have, when a player gets drafted, we're going to have clips of them. We're going to be able
at that.
Yeah, hell yeah, man.
Look at your screen right now. Over my head, see up there? Look at that.
Yeah.
How cool is that? And then down there,
legit.
right?
The funny part is, go back and watch our Pistons draft party, and it's just me, Adam, and Joey sitting on a couch with pizza. So, yeah, we've
sounds
come
like a fun time.
We've come a little way in the past 4 months, but, happy to have you with us here on Woodward Sports. Make sure you're dropping your comments and sharing and liking and let people know. I mean, we're Detroit-based right now, and this is what we want to focus on. There's nobody else doing a live draft party in Detroit, which is tragic, but for us, all right, thanks. You gave us opening day. You're giving us the draft. We're just going to keep taking it.
That's a reality of it. And I'm going to say it again. We were having this conversation on the show the other day. When you're talking about big events in Detroit on the calendar, the draft is as big as anything. Anything. It is. I mean, this is something that there are, I like to use the term mockaholic, and I'm a mockaholic.
Right.
There are mockaholics that have been doing multiple mock drafts a day. Adam and I did one together this morning while we were at work, like the two losers that we are. So I mean, this is but you know what? This is our day. We've been talking about this for a couple months, and it's here.
And honestly, I feel like it was so far away, but it snuck up so quickly. Like I was talking to Fish earlier today. I'm like, man, I feel like we haven't covered this enough, but we've talked about it every single day. Like I'm like, we should have broke down the top 5 running backs, the top 10 wide receivers. Like we should have gone really in depth with it. But next year, here's my goal for next year. All right? I'm putting it out there to everybody watching right now, no matter where you're watching. I want us to throw like a live party like they're doing in Cleveland at Campus Martius.
Oh, would that be great?
And we'll bring some local artists out. Like we'll do it really big in Detroit style.
Be awesome. Yeah. No, I'd love every second of that. Is your phone blowing up again?
A little bit.
I'm talking. You know what happens is in case I've been with Scott the last few drafts, and he starts getting information from some agents and all that stuff, and sometimes the information's true. And sometimes it's BS. Is that the best way to say it?
Yeah, that's a very friendly way to say it. There's been a lot of rumors this year that have just been like Yeah, I don't know about that one, but
Right.
I mean, rumors are rumors. It's all interesting. I heard yesterday that Deshaun Watson was being traded to Miami. Like, okay,
Yeah, I've heard that as well.
But because the price is down.
Oh, the price is way fucking down. He did a
You
great
think?
job of driving that market
Sure
below level.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the interesting thing. Like, Deshaun Watson he's an elite quarterback just sitting there, and nobody knows what the hell to do with it.
Yeah.
You don't want to take that risk. You don't want that PR nightmare down your throat, but
if
you want to win.
Miami, if you're the Dolphins and you have pick 18 and you're willing to move, you don't have to move pick 6, but if you're willing to move, say, pick 18 and a future first-round pick for Deshaun Watson, knowing that he likely will not play for you for a year, who gives a shit if you're Miami? Do you really care?
I mean, I've been on record to say I want dudes on the Detroit Lions who have shanked people. Like, I want Ray Lewis who set up murders. Like, I want bad dudes. But I have a line, too. I don't want some asshole Deshaun Watson here, even though, once he starts throwing touchdowns, you seem to forget a lot of warts.
It's amazing how that works itself out.
Yeah.
It's interesting down there, and I'm sure there's a
Big Jenga
Robert
fell.
Kraft joke, going down to Florida and everything. But what it goes back to is, what does it say about Tua?
Yeah.
Right. Well, that's the crazy thing is that I've even heard rumors of Miami wanting to draft another quarterback, kind of pull the Arizona Cardinals trick that they did with Josh Rosen and Kyler Murray, except without a plan.
Yeah.
Can you explain Josh Rosen? Do you have any explanation for that? Because
I don't. I liked him at UCLA. I did. I mean, admittedly, I did.
You and I had that conversation a few times,
Yeah.
and I was of the opinion, I thought that people, not you, put him on a pedestal. But to be as useless as he's been in the National Football League goes to show you again, there is no such thing as a guarantee in this league. I mean, there just isn't.
Joey Harrington 2.0.
Oh, he's just...
that's the way I look at Josh Rosen. Like, the buzz was around him, and that whole group was supposedly elite, and he just fell. I mean, but Darnold's not turned out to be a darling either.
That first
night. And I mean, that's the thing. Most of these guys who go early tend to not really pan out. Like, we're looking at Trevor Lawrence as, the greatest quarterback to enter the NFL since Andrew Luck, and I think that's a mistake. I mean, historically, these guys are where... I think I'm talking to him right now about him hating Trevor Lawrence.
No, but Scott, to your point, this is a guy that has been earmarked for this spot for 2.5 years.
Yeah.
I mean, legitimately, go back and watch a championship game. And people were talking about, if he came out now, he'd be the number 1 pick in the draft 2 years ago.
And he's a very similar player right now than he was then.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
And I think that's what's interesting about that is, and people like Scott, is, okay, we have a good idea of what Trevor Lawrence is. How much of a ceiling is there with Trevor Lawrence? I don't know how much of a ceiling is there with Trevor Lawrence. But you know what people are salivating over is, what is the ceiling with Trey Lance? And I think that's what's so interesting.
It's unknown.
If Trevor Lawrence is here and he maybe has this much more ceiling, well, where could a guy like Trey Lance go? And that's an intriguing question. Please, I'm not dogging Trevor Lawrence.
No.
Nor is Stick.
But let's be honest. In 1999, Tim Couch, Donovan McNabb, Achilles Smith, the last time quarterbacks went 1, 2, 3 in the draft, one of those hit.
Isn't
and it wasn't the number 1 pick.
Isn't it amazing?
So, like, we can, you can play these games, but honestly, the law of averages is the law of averages.
I'm convinced, looking back at those guys, every one of those guys that you
What
use,
up, Corey?
okay? And Scott, you
Corey,
tell me
got
if you
breaking
agree.
news?
Basically.
All right,
Corey
go
got
ahead.
breaking news.
Corey, what do you got for us?
Joey, can I see your mic real quick? Can you go over there, Corey? And we got breaking news coming in. I'm excited for this. This is what I love about the draft.
Absolutely.
Like, this could be anything right now. Let me turn your mic up.
Oh, breaking news with Corey Woods. What do you got, Corey?
Hey, man, I was just online, just reading up a few things. Mark Schlereth is reporting that the Denver Broncos are closing in on a trade for Aaron Rodgers.
I believe that.
Oh!
I do believe that.
So
I
that's
don't
the
know.
number 9 pick, right?
I'm guessing so. So they said they're not taking that. The Broncos do not plan to take a quarterback because they're closing in on a trade for Aaron Rodgers.
Man,
That was one of the teams he listed. So we'll wait and see how it works out. Can I go back to those quarterbacks from '99 for a second? Scott,
yeah.
you tell me if I'm wrong here, okay? I thought Achilles Smith was going to be awesome. He wasn't. That's one we all missed on. Is it safe to say that a lot of people thought that, I hate using this term because you guys hate it more than anybody, Tim Couch was a system quarterback? Wasn't that what people said? He played in that crazy, what was it, Air Mummy or whatever the hell it was called? He played in that in that era, and that inflated everything.
So, just so people know, every single quarterback in the NFL is a system quarterback.
Of course.
It's just some systems are a little more open to the things that the quarterbacks do. But yeah, I mean, Couch was, right?
Yeah.
And Achilles Smith was, and it's a little bit
Gosh, I loved Achilles Smith.
The Oregon stuff.
Oh,
and, you know,
yes.
McNabb was ahead of his time as far as an athlete. He would, with the RPOs.
Did you watch him at Syracuse? Absolutely.
Yeah.
And he was just a thick dude.
Yeah.
Like, people say he was he was mobile, but not by today's standards.
Yeah.
You know, honestly, if he was coming out today, it'd be like, oh, this guy runs a 4.7 40. He's slow as hell. What's going on? Let's talk a little bit about San Francisco. I mean, San Francisco trades up in the draft to get to the number 3 point, and I've gotten the sense that they're having buyer's remorse.
You are correct.
They're like, holy shit, we gave up so much to move here, and the guy we want, we could probably get.
Here's the question that I'm going to ask, though, okay? And I don't know the answer to this. This could be the greatest snow job that we remember, because everybody and their brother thinks that it's Mac Jones, right? What if it's not? What if it's not Mac Jones?
To me, it's Trey Lance leading the pack, just based on everything that Kyle Shanahan has said in the past. But I understand the Mac Jones thing too. I mean, I think he gives them a little bit of what Garoppolo gives them, just more upside maybe from a mental standpoint and dealing with pressure. And that's something that Shanahan he values. But, you talked earlier about Trey Lance's ceiling and thinking about a quarterback-friendly system with Trey Lance in that system, I mean, the sky's the limit there. It really is. We talked about McNabb just now, and it's interesting. Lance is like that, where he's a heavy player.
Right.
And I just think he's much more athletic than McNabb was. I don't know if he's quite the passer right now that McNabb was coming out, but I mean, he's 20 years old.
He's a question mark, and that's really, you could just put a question mark on his jersey, and that's exactly what he is. His ceiling's here, his floor is down here too, though.
But that's a position you draft for upside.
Absolutely.
You're not so worried about where the floor is with them, because chances are they're going to bust anyway. Chances even with Lawrence, he's going to have struggles.
I think people have this strange hang-up. Scott, and you and I have talked about this many times on the draft show. People have this strange hang-up that if you draft a quarterback, well, you just have to throw him to the Wolves. And I don't get it. Patrick Mahomes says hello.
Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers says hello. You don't. Hey, maybe Jordan Love is going to knock on the door and tell hello to everybody moving forward this year.
Justin Herbert says hi.
Right, and that's, Scott, that's the point that I'm making is there's like this strange stigma that, if you draft a quarterback, you have to, you don't necessarily have to play him year one.
No.
You don't have to do that.
That's the beauty of this class. There's a few guys in this class that do need to take some time. Justin Fields is one. Trey Lance is one. It doesn't mean that they can't come in and play now, because they certainly can.
Right.
It's just it might benefit them to sit for 10 games, right? Like it may be beneficial for him to just have a little time.
You know what I wish we had right now? I wish we had what we could affectionately call the Joik Cam, because Joik Bell and Chad Johnson's son are in the midst of battle over there. They're playing Madden like about 10 feet. Do you really have Joik Cam right now?
What do you think we're doing here, Sean? You think this is some amateur hour?
Yeah,
We
look
got
at these
Joy
two.
Cam.
Does he know running backs don't matter?
Uh-oh,
No,
Joey.
don't go there. Don't.
We got to check in with the boys. What's going on over here?
Joey, your mic's breaking up.
Play with the Jets as well.
I heard he's whipping my butt. That's great. You should see the look of intensity. Look at Joik right there.
He's
Man.
not happy about it. Yeah.
Guy's competitive in everything he does,
That's
man.
his game face. Joik's a joyful, happy guy most of the time. Big, bright smile, handsome fella. When I told him I could tackle him, he went straight game mode, and I saw that he was going to kill me in his eyes. Like, it's a whole different animal when that guy puts on a helmet and steps between the lines.
Could you imagine in open space trying to tackle him?
I have, yes.
You know, one thing that we do need to talk about is, as excited as we are for all this stuff,
Yes.
how nervous and anxiety-filled the players are right now. Because this is a defining moment.
Right.
This is where you're going to live. This is where you're likely going to meet your wife. This is where you're going to. It is. I mean, this is where you're going to spend the rest of your life.
Right.
Or a majority of your life, and it's like, you know, I've been in. I remember being in Michael Brocker's hotel room and looking at him a few hours before the draft and seeing how. Now that we're talking about Michael Brocker's just rock star, right? A guy who was going to go in the top half of the first round, but so nervous that he was on his knees in his hotel room. Like so nervous about where he was. What city are you going to go? Think about that.
Listen,
where am I going to live?
When I got the job, I worked like 10 years to get in radio. I finally became like an assistant program director, and I got a night show. I cried in the office of my boss who gave it to me. And, you know, like these are life-defining moments, like you said, and you work so hard. You dream of this since when you were a kid. The only thing I hope that ESPN doesn't do, which they do every fucking year, is they highlight the lows of these guys. Like his mom was a crackhead, and now he's a. It's like, okay, like let's focus on the good part of this moment.
Last year was awful for that.
Oh my, that's all it was. Like everybody that got drafted last year, their mom was a crackhead. I'm convinced of it, and I don't get it. Like why?
A lot of crackheads.
It is a lot. There's a lot of crack.
Listen, especially with what we've all gone through in the last year.
Yeah.
Can we add a little happiness to this? It is
levity.
A great story, man.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Exciting.
There's other prop bets going on, which I always find interesting. Like, is Trevor Lawrence going to give a hug? Who's he going to give a hug to first? His mom, his sister, his brother, his dad, or his girlfriend?
I go mom.
Mom? I think girlfriend, because they just got married. Or
well, then if he's got a girlfriend, that's a problem.
You hug the girlfriend, then you apologize to the wife.
Yeah.
Can I?
You know, you should never ask for permission. It's forgiveness.
Yes,
that's just how it goes.
That's been a rule of my life that I've lived by. We got intern Alex behind
How's
us.
That going for you?
Not good. You live and you learn, man. I need to touch the stove many times before I learn that motherfucker's hot. Cleveland actually looks
nice. Are you drinking?
No.
Just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Maker's Mark, if you are tonight, thank you guys for sponsoring this whole event and bringing us to the Delmar. And a beautiful setup down here. Like our TV,
it's awesome.
This TV is, how big you say that is? Like 200 feet, 100 feet?
You were just talking about how Cleveland's putting on a show and everything. I know that Rod Wood is doing everything he can to have the NFL come here in the next few years. I know he is.
Oh, my God.
I know he is.
Dude, I hope by that time Woodward Sports is the mammoth that we know we're going to be, and we take that, and that's our event.
I would put a circle. Awesome. I would put a circle around maybe 4 years from now.
4 years?
Yeah.
That's about the timeline. The Lions should be pretty decent, too, right?
I would put the circle at around 4 years
from now. Oh, my God, Sean, what are you doing to me right now?
I'm just telling you.
So,
you just bought all. You're all in, aren't you?
Dude,
I know for a fact
I'm just thinking,
that they are working very hard to bring it here.
I'm just thinking of a Tampa Bay moment. Mm-hmm. Like, could you, it's never happened that the Lions made the Super Bowl. Can you imagine if they ever do, it's actually here?
I don't know. I'm talking about the draft.
This is
they want the draft. Yeah, they want to have the draft here. Of course they want to get the Super Bowl again, but I'm talking about the draft in particular.
Oh, here comes trouble.
Oh, some more.
We got about a minute 28 before the draft. And I heard Urban Meyer wants to use all 10 minutes. Whatever, over.
Oh, I'm sure he does.
Yeah, he's going to sit there. And did you hear about Tim Tebow today?
Yes.
We talked about that earlier. Why is he switching positions?
You know what? Isn't it funny how times change? 10 years ago, he was adamant he was a quarterback, and he's willing to try the whole tight end thing now, isn't he?
That is.
I'm not betting against him, Scott.
I'm not betting against him either, but that speaks a little bit to we need you in the locker room to push things along.
Yep. Because he's Tim freaking Tebow.
Man. Yep. Those guys came to party.
You know what?
That guy's been drinking a little bit.
Go ahead, on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Woodward Sports, let's go!
Let's go. Wow. Let's go.
Let's go.
Look at them all smiling. I mean, it's just a good time.
Can you imagine? What is he, 22? You think they're like 22,
Look
23?
At those rosy cheeks.
Nice.
He must be Irish. Yes.
Yeah. He's got the Jim Blossom going.
Sewell. At least they know who they want to draft. Those are my people right there. This is what it's all about, guys.
I feel like we're setting ourselves up to be crushed. I really do.
Stop it. Don't
I
say
do.
that, Scott.
I just do.
Don't say that.
I don't know about Sewell.
Listen, I'm going to stand on what I said, and I pray I don't regret it, but I'm going to say it again. The Lions would have to work hard to screw up number 7.
No.
They would literally have to. They'd have to go out of their way to screw up 7.
I'm just speaking to Sewell.
I don't believe he's going to fall.
I don't know that he is either. That's what I'm saying. I want him to be a Lion so bad because he's one of the guys in this draft I think that are not locks to perform at a high level for a long time, but he's pretty damn close. And
listen, I even want Sewell more because if he gets drafted, I want to see what those guys do.
Exactly.
Have you ever heard somebody hype for an offensive lineman?
I love it.
Like, what is this?
Love it.
What is this? Let's check in with Joey with one of the OGs from the Woodward Sports Network. His name is Greg Chen.
This is our day one, too, Stick.
Always been supporting.
Day 2. What's like day 2?
Day 2.
You were day one, G-Money.
Wait, right, day 1.
So thanks, G-Money, for coming out here, being a part of our NFL draft party. We're almost on the clock, G. Who do you want if you got to pick anybody on the board?
Anybody but Justin Fields.
Oh, Joey, your boy.
take that.
What?
Just punch Joey right in the dick.
Don't say it again. Do not say it again.
Ohio. It's because of Ohio State.
That's right.
That's a valid reason.
Are you going to say Ohio State quarterbacks don't do well?
No, I just don't like Ohio State.
Okay, I respect that.
Awesome.
Ohio State, so I.
Dwayne Haskins says hi.
Hey, hit him with the big old F you, Ohio State.
F you, Ohio State.
Yeah, Greg Chen in the building. Man, absolutely love this.
Glorious.
That's great.
Oh, we got Trevor Lawrence behind us right now. Trevor. Actually, Trevor, can you go over and do your pre-draft interview with Joey right now? Right now they're showing the highlights of everybody crying. Hold on, Joey.
It's before he gets drafted.
Yes.
Trevor Lawrence.
How y'all doing? I'm really glad to be here with Woodward Sports.
I'm glad he's repping.
I'm really hoping I get a good team, but I'm prepared to lose. I've done so much winning that if I have to lose, that's something I got to get used to.
So, how the heck did we pull this off to get Trevor Lawrence in a Woodward Sports t-shirt? That's impressive.
I actually sent my brother. He's there filling in for me because this was just such an important event. I wanted to be here to rep Woodward Sports.
He actually looks like
he does look like this. Oh my God, we have Zack Wilson here too.
Oh, they're Clemson colors. That's how we got him in that shirt. Our Woodward Sports shirts are Clemson colors.
Hey, he's in
Zack
two
Wilson.
places. It's crazy.
Zack Wilson wearing a Lions
all the way
vest.
from BYU, whatever that stands for.
Brigham
How are
Young,
you,
but
Zack
that's
Wilson?
okay.
I'm phenomenal. First and foremost, I got to thank my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. Without him, this would not be possible whatsoever. So I got to thank him.
So tell us a little bit about this. You and Robert Saleh, I feel like you guys are just boys at this point.
Wow. He called me as soon as he went to New York. He said, I'm your guy. So we're already there. We already got my house built in New York. We got a high-rise penthouse for all my lady friends. It's going to be a good time.
Wait. Calling BS on this. Saying that's Zack Wilson on TV. I'm confused. Is that Zack Wilson?
Trey
or is
Lance
this?
right there. That's Trey Lance, man.
Yeah.
Trey Lance is sitting here too.
Oh, is that?
Yeah.
Hey, Dion, come here real quick. We got
Trey Lance.
Trey Lance is in the building too. Get on over there. We got.
Hey, do you need a fat lineman?
So we got Trevor Lawrence, Zack Wilson.
Get out of here.
Zack Wilson and Trey Lance
Hey,
is
how
in the
are you?
building.
What's your name?
Trey Lance.
Oh my God.
What's that college that you went to for college football? D2, D3, whatever that school was?
North Dakota State.
I don't know. That's the education North Dakota State provides.
Oh boy.
So how does this feel to go from a nobody playing pretty much XFL football to now all of a sudden being one of the top ranked prospects that can be picked this draft?
Hey, I'm getting paid. So, it's going to be a good day no matter what. We get paid, but no, I don't know.
We got to shout him out.
Yeah, we got to shout out who he really is, though, man. This guy's a legend.
We really got to shout this guy out because he's one of the best Detroit Lions YouTubers out there. And let everybody know where you're from.
I'm from Ohio, from Fremont, Ohio. Came down here, man. This is awesome, dude.
It's Dose of Dion. Make sure you check him out. You're actually live right now, too.
I'm live over here. And people are in the chat, man. People are in the chat.
Charles Woodson's hometown, Fremont. Fremont, Chuckles
Fremont.
from there, yeah.
Yeah, man. Saying the night and everything.
Yeah.
This is great, though.
Nice.
Appreciate you, Dion.
I love the environment. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for rolling up. He drove all the way here, man. All the way here.
That's so cool.
Nice lettuce.
Thank you, Joey. Thank you, Joey.
Does. Boy, oh boy.
Man, did you realize how many celebrities we had in the building today?
That's great.
We got a lot of quarterbacks in here.
Yeah, I think we got Rashawn Slater over here, too. We'll get him up later.
Oh, my gosh.
Hey, thank you, Dion. You're the man. Appreciate that. So here we go, man. The draft is about ready to get started. Booger McFarland's on there, not being stupid like he was when he was a sideline reporter.
I'm sure he's being stupid.
Yeah.
I can see Michael Irvin doing Michael Irvin things in the background, and that makes me laugh. Scott, this is my chance to say this again. Whether you like him or not is inconsequential. The Godfather is on stage. The NFL draft is not what it is today without the Godfather. I tip my cap to the one, the only, Mel Kiper Jr.
Yeah.
Seriously, our generation, okay? Like guys like us 30 years ago when we were kids, this became a big thing because of Mel Kiper Jr. It really did.
Really? Okay.
And I think he's a moron.
Yep.
But you know what? God love him. The draft isn't the draft without what Mel Kiper Jr. brought to the table.
It is incredible what he's pushed forward with the draft.
It's incredible.
It really, it's an entire industry.
I hope one day I'm considered a moron, but incredibly, everybody loves me.
You did this. And when there are 15...
I think today's that day.
When there are 1,500 different Woodward Sports affiliates,
there we go.
People are going to go, that Stick's a moron. But gosh damn it, Woodward Sports would have never happened without him.
Yeah, well, us, Chad Johnson, the whole team, Joey, Adam, honestly, it's no longer a one-man thing. When this started out, it was an idea, but nothing could be accomplished without all of us.
Yep,
and that's
truth.
the most important thing about this network is it's a network. It's, it's not a station. We're not stationary. We're a network. We're networking. That's why Dose of Dion is here. That's why Easy has a great podcast by himself, but he decided to join the network. Nick Leach is an incredible talent, young, up and coming. And that's the thing that Woodward Sports is. We're giving a voice to the younger guys, too, which I know you guys love to help facilitate as much as I do.
Oh, I think it's fantastic because there are so many. That's the cool thing. Scott, I think both of us can speak to this. There are so many young, passionate, sharp people that are part of the network. And it's great to talk to these guys. And you know what the cool thing about them? Everybody's a sponge. They all just want to learn and be a part of this. And every day's a lot of fun, man. It really is.
It's about passion. That's it. That's the bottom line. If you want to work at Woodward Sports, it's about passion. It's about doing what you love and not us having to direct you. Just go fucking
But what
get
you guys
shit
are
done.
facilitating is awesome, though, because it's so I'll just speak from experience. Walking in there, it just feels good walking into. It just does.
Well, that's Chad and Jesse, man. They designed a beautiful facility. It's open. It's got great energy. People
the
just
energy
love to be
of it
there,
is
right?
awesome. It's it's phenomenal being in it.
Well, it's phenomenal having you guys here, especially on draft day. We've been talking about this, Scott. It's an honor to have you. When you talk about draft, if people don't know who Scott Bischoff is, you and Sean used to be official draft reporters for the Lions before they, flip-flopped here and there. But you guys are the official voice, and we're lucky to have that.
I'm happy to be here. I'm thrilled to be a part of it. It's awesome. It's a really cool experience.
Well, speaking of cool experiences, Joik is over there playing Madden right now, and Joey's going to check in with Joik. Go ahead, Joey.
My favorite thing is, honestly, I feel bad. Joik, how many people just come up to you, Joik, talking shit to you?
I can't count.
I can't count. I'm one.
Can't count.
Why does everybody come? We got to come down. You got to lower for the camera. What's your name?
My name is Matt, man. I'm ready to bet Joik 1,000 on a Madden game.
Oh,
1,000
shit.
on a Madden game. I got it right here. I'll show my bank account, whatever it is. I'll bet Joik $1,000. I can beat him in Madden right here, right now.
I can't speak on Joik's behalf.
The mic cut out. Joey,
Wouldn't you know it?
The mic cut out, Joey. The mic cut out.
Oh, you can hear us?
Oh, you hit the mute. Joey keeps hitting the mute button. That's what's happening. Yes, it is. You're holding the mic. To Joik, respond again.
Say what you just said again, Joik.
What was the last thing y'all heard?
Right when Joey went to you.
when he asked.
I said we playing 1 minute quarter.
Okay, yeah, let's do it. Run it. All right, they're going to play 1 minute quarters.
Fantastic.
Joey, your mic's cutting off, buddy. We got to bring it back here. But yeah, obviously,
can we get some side action in on that?
I'm down. I'm 100% down. So the draft.
Let's roll.
Nobody's on the clock yet. When does the draft officially start? 8:15.
Kings of Leon's rolling right now.
Who the hell is Kings of Leon?
I don't know, but
what the hell's a King of
Looks like
Leon?
they're rocking.
My
They look
guess
like Matchbox 20.
My guess is that
the gin
Jacksonville's
blossoms.
going to use every red second of that clock to make the most obvious pick ever.
Oh yeah.
That's pretty much what's going to happen. The Kings of Leon wouldn't have taken to the stage unless the NFL knew the same thing.
Are they
No doubt
good?
about it.
Do we know anything about the Kings of Leon? I mean, I've heard of them, but I've never
scouting
heard
report
them.
on you?
Yes, please.
Now they had a song like "Need Somebody" or sometimes
Yes.
"Feel Somebody."
A few years ago, yeah.
that,
a few
that
years
was
ago.
like damn near 10
yeah,
years
it was a
ago.
long time ago,
A
right?
while ago, yeah.
Yeah.
So back to the Lions and back to the draft. What do you think Dan Campbell and Brad Holmes are like going through and thinking right now? Like when they're preparing for a draft, are they already in the know, or because you're picking 7 and so many variables can happen, are you just hoping like your top 3 guys, one of them's there?
So the assumption is there's a small group of players that they would settle in on and then have sort of figured out, right?
Okay.
But the trade back, and there's only 10 minutes, so it's not something that you could take a lot of time on. So to me, they've decided whether or not they're going to trade back because they've decided on what the compensation needs to be to get there.
Got it.
So I think there's two different roads that you're looking at. One's trade back. The other one is these are the guys that we would settle in on. If we're on the board and we're stuck at 7, this is the maybe 2 players that we would take, and we'd be comfortable, and we'll have a few-minute conversation when we're on the clock.
Okay.
But that's kind of where it is. It's you're open to both things. But it's not like fantasy draft where it's like, I got to take a running back. Let me look at the list.
Right.
Here's 12 I got to think about. No, they're locked in.
Here we go. The commish is up there. The commish is here. I always think he looks like Harvey Dent from the Batman movies, doesn't he? Kinda. So he's making
Two-Face?
yeah. He's making his official announcement right now. Cleveland looks like. How nice is it to see people congregating again, man?
It's wonderful.
Like it's almost poetic to me.
I love how Roger Goodell tells the crowd to get louder with the boos.
There's the Lions section right there. Nice.
Embrace it. That's what Goodell does. I give him full marks for that.
Yeah, that's what you got to do. Like, hey, and one of my favorite lines is nobody boos a bench player.
Yeah,
and I love that
Right.
saying. And I've used that many times to tell people that are like feeling bad. I'm like, listen, if somebody hates on you, it's because you're somebody. Nobody gives a shit about the 12th man. They only boo the star, and that's it. So Goodell, and what was his new contract for?
$6 trillion.
Yeah, and a private jet for life, wasn't it?
Whatever.
Yeah. So I'll take. You can boo me all day with that.
Yeah,
money.
I mean, he's the guy who takes all the shit from fans, and he's cool doing it, so owners don't.
Some Brown legends up there: Jarvis Landry, Bernie Kosar, Joe Thomas.
Joe Thomas, what a beast,
Yeah.
man. Like, that's probably the last offensive lineman we got excited for.
Look how lean that dude is now,
Yep.
too. There's so many of these guys get away from the game, and they just lean up.
He's still enormous, though.
Yeah, he's huge.
Well, he
Absolutely
walked away
huge.
early too.
He
you know?
did.
Like he didn't wait to get too bad and like out of shape to where he couldn't function as a
He's your
normal
arm
human being.
length guy. Like he didn't.
Yeah.
He did not have long arms,
Good
but he
punch.
was able to make it happen, and because he could move his feet. Super smart player.
Wow, man. I'm glad the weather cleared up there, too, in Cleveland. My buddies are there right now, and they went
for
out
real?
early in the day. They said it was raining. Yeah, the guys that took a picture with the Woodward Sports T-shirts
That's
there.
right. Yeah.
They're there, and they were out early. It was downpouring there, and then they went back to the hotel, dried their clothes, and went back out.
Oh, so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a bucket list thing. I want to go just to go.
To a draft?
Yeah, I haven't been to a draft yet. I want to go just to go to experience it, because it really does seem like there's just a heck of a lot of energy there. And hopefully, we can do it here in Detroit.
It's a cool
in a few
experience.
years. Yeah.
It is. It's a very cool
I'm
experience.
getting a mini vibe of it right now, man. You look around this room, everybody's seated, but it's packed though. Like this is you could feel the energy of other people. That's what I love about this thing is, the buzz in the air. Those girls over there rooting for Penny. Like who would have saw that coming?
Yeah.
But yeah, Joey, are you good now? You want to check in?
They're playing.
Oh, they are playing.
Or am I good?
You're good.
Yeah.
Okay, so they're actually proceeding with this $1,000 bet right now.
Wow.
Matt Murphy, how did the first game go?
Hey, man, I threw a pick six first play, but just like George said, I was at the game. I was at the game when Sam Darnold threw a pick six at the Lions at Ford Field, and guess what happened? The Jets came back and won. I was there.
Pounded them.
So I know it can be possible. I know it can be done. I'm not worried.
What teams are they playing with?
So we got New York Jets 0, which is Matt Murphy, and then our boy Joik Bell with the Jacksonville Jaguars up 7-0.
All right. Who's your quarterback?
What up, Joik?
What up, man? He been talking all day. I'm going to give him a chance to score right here.
Watch right here, Joey. Watch this right here, Joey. Watch this right here, Joey.
I'm watching.
Watch this right here, Joey.
I'm watching.
Wow.
Another
Almost
pick
a
six.
touchdown.
Look at Joy.
Look at Joy. Uh-oh, his girls are coming, too. Now you're going to get embarrassed.
Hey, he got the ladies, though.
Pressure. Joy's gonna beat his ass in Madden and steal his chicks.
You got it.
It's not gonna be a good night for this guy. And $1,000.
Did you see that look that Joy gave her? That was awesome.
All
Awesome. Good stuff.
Okay, the Jacksonville Jaguars are on the clock.
I wonder what they're going to do.
Here we go. Look at their war room. I liked it better when they were at their houses last year.
Oh, that was so cool. Some of the things that they did.
Bill Belichick's dog.
Yeah.
That stole the show. Who
Jerry's party boat. Jerry Jones' party boat.
Vrabel's fucking weird chaos of weirdness that was going on. His kids kept dressing up in costumes in the background. Like, I thought that was a really cool look.
They're just people, man. You know, it's like the kids are driving him nuts, and he's trying to make a pick.
It was so weird for us from a personal standpoint. You know, the previous few years we had been out at the Lions facility for their big draft party, and they couldn't do it. Scott, quite frankly, and I don't think you and I ever had this conversation last year, it sucked being at home. I was at home in my office. I was by myself, and I'm not going to lie to you, it sucked. That's what's great about being out here with all you guys and chatting with some people on social media and everything. It's a beautiful thing.
You think it's weird that Trevor Lawrence isn't at the draft? Because I know they were allowing some of the players to be there. They said he was in South Carolina, and if you got that prop bet going on, his wife was sitting right next to him, so that could help you. Do you think it's weird that he didn't show up to the draft? Normal number 1 overall pick is usually there, right?
No, I think he's wired a little different than needing. I don't think he needs to be hailed as all right, I'm the number 1 pick, I'm the man.
Right.
I think he knows he's the man. He doesn't need the justification of being there in the crowd and all that stuff. He is wired different, though.
Scott, I want to ask you, everything that I've heard about this guy is he's just a good dude.
Yeah.
Is that the book on him, or is that kind of drenched in mythology?
You know, yes. I mean, from what people talk about, he's a very high character person.
Sure.
He's a very high character football player too, which helps. I mean, that helps the whole being first overall thing. But you know, the reality is his freshman season was ridiculous. It just was. And you know, when you put down a season like that, it's tough to improve year over year. And I don't know that he has. But it's still good enough. It was still good enough for him to be the first pick.
Well, and Scott, the interesting point to that, the flip side to that is there's nowhere to go but down.
Yeah.
You're a national champion, and everybody's talking about this 18-year-old freshman that could go in the NFL draft that year and be the number 1 pick. There's no place to go but down.
Kind of like in a smaller situation, Jake Fromm. Remember when he was a true freshman and took Georgia, and then it was nowhere but down. Now Jake Fromm, I mean, he's in the league, but he's not going to stay in the league much longer.
Did you see that throw?
I did. One of the things with him is that he's built like a spindle. So, I mean, do we think there's durability concerns? No, but we're talking about a very slender, thin-framed guy.
How shocked will you be if he doesn't go number 1?
Stunned, like
fall.
Beyond stunned.
I'd fall. This is what, he likes to do this. With his spindle body, Scott, he's going to get his dick knocked out in the NFL. He pulls that shit in the NFL, I mean, seriously, somebody's going to kill him.
So this is where you need to be, Trevor, get out of bounds and get down.
Yep.
That's it.
Yep.
Yes, we love that you're mobile. That's great to be mobile. Use it when we need you, but You don't need to be running through bodies at the second level taking contact. You just don't.
And how hard is it for people to learn that? Because it seems like it's incredibly hard because they just have that like Superman syndrome where they've been able to out-athlete everybody their whole life. And that's like, holy shit, I'm going up against grown men now.
So that's the thing is, if as a real smart cerebral guy, the first couple hits you take, you learn very quickly that, all right, the stuff I got away with in college, I can't here.
Right.
And I don't want to take those kind of shots, so I'm getting down.
But you see guys like an RG3 who just refused to get down when he came in the league.
All right, you know what? I'm glad that you brought that up because, another guy, I was on the field at Ford Field. We used to do our Fox 2 show live on the field. And this giant mammoth of a man is standing behind me before I do my live shot, right? And Stick, I think to myself, who's this linebacker, right? It wasn't a linebacker. It was Cam Newton.
Yeah.
Oh. Cam Newton is
enormous.
a monster.
Yeah.
And I mean, his shoulders are this wide. He's this tall. And you think about a guy like that, okay? They learn over the course of time, your body, something's going to give. Even when you're 6'5", 245, something's going to give when you're running into 260-pound men. And he's become a different quarterback because of it.
Yeah, they're brick walls, man.
It's incredible.
Like the difference, I only made it through high school, right? But you go to a college game, you notice the speed increase. Then you go, if you sit close to a pro game, it is unworldly how fast those guys are.
And the noise.
Yes, the collision.
Oh.
It's literally like car accidents. That's why they're taking the kickoff and punt return essentially out of the game because these guys are literally killing each other.
I always use this example when you talk about speed for Joik's boy, Reggie Bush, okay?
There you go.
Reggie Bush was never going to be a superstar in the National Football League. In college at USC, he could outrun everybody, right?
Right.
It wasn't going to happen in the NFL. And Joik gets mad at me when I say that, but Reggie Bush was a fine NFL player, but he was never going to be a transcendent superstar player, Stick, because of the reason that you gave.
Right.
Because that speed differential, guess what? Guys are closer to you, man.
Yeah, I was honestly, coming out of USC, I like Lendell White better out of that backfield to be a pro back.
ball.
And he had a great, not a great career, but he had a good career with Tennessee.
He had a great Thanksgiving against the Lions.
Well, everybody has a fucking great game.
Remember that?
That's what we're infamous for. A guy like that never has a good game, all of a sudden he's popping off. PJ Walker, why not? Come in, PJ Walker, and have your way with us.
Do you remember that Thanksgiving Day game?
Yes.
Both he and CJ went nuts. They both went over 100. What was it, like 47-7 or some shit like that?
Yeah.
Awful.
3 minutes left.
Awful.
3 minutes left on the clock. We're going to have to check in with Joey, too, because
I feel like Joik is winning.
Yeah, Herman Moore does not look happy right now. Joey! Greg, get Joey's attention. Tell him we want to check in with him.
Urban Meyer is such an egomaniac to draw this out.
Oh, hi, Trevor.
Are you kidding me?
Trevor's wife is beautiful, by the way.
Yeah.
Trevor Lawrence is beautiful, by the way.
Yeah, I do him. Joey, what do you got? What's the score over there in Joyland? We got $1,000.
I'm going to let Matt Murphy himself tell you guys what the outcome of this game is right now.
Hey, man, I took an L to Joy, bro.
Oh.
He got the football mind, man. He picked me off the first play of the game, and I could never recover. It was 1 minute.
1 second left. Joik is in victory formation.
That's the first time I ever ran victory. Run me my money. Put in my cash app. What you need?
Don't let that motherfucker out of here.
Man? What's the cash app, man?
His cash app is at Joey Radio.
Hey, will you do Venmo?
That's what he goes by. It's Joik Bell, but Joey's his real name.
Oh, man. So we're going to be checking in with Joik. He's over there betting people here.
I had no idea this was going to happen.
2 minutes left.
This is... I don't know, man. I might have to leave. I don't do this gambling stuff.
It's legal now in Michigan, so we're good, right?
If you can't lose, you're not gambling. You know what I'm saying?
The pick's in. The pick is in. They pretty much did use all of their 10 minutes, and we will see who's going to be drafted number 1 overall in the 2021 NFL Draft. It's underway, man. It's so good that it's here. I'm loving the fact that they got people there, that they're showing people, and it looks like they're going to say Trevor Lawrence. They're showing baby pictures of him, so that's usually a pretty good sign.
A lot of people were surprised back in the day that he didn't end up at Tennessee. I don't know if you remember that. There was a lot of people, but Tennessee has been through some lean times and everything, and let's face it, I think that turned out to be the right decision.
Yeah.
I'll go out on a limb.
And good for him.
Yeah.
Good for him.
Yeah. I mean, get the bag, man. Like you've earned this. You've done the work. You made your program, and this is why, like, when people talk about college and paying these players and stuff like this, they're getting paid. The good ones get paid.
Yeah. So think about it from your level, from the standpoint of being a high school player, right?
Right.
And how hard it was to just get in formation and run plays.
Right.
And then think about a guy like Trevor Lawrence, who's now the first pick in the draft, as skilled and gifted as he is, he deserves everything coming to him.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, this is hard. Football is hard.
Right.
It is not an easy game to play. To get 11 people to just line up and snap the ball is hard.
Right. Well, shit, getting 11 people to handle social media is hard. You're telling me, getting them to run the same play at the same time?
Getting one person to go to the mailbox is a problem.
Right. So I get it. I understand. Like, getting any 11 people to move in unison is tough.
Incredible.
So here's Roger Goodell. He's approaching the stage right now, and got to thank everybody who's watching us right now on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter. You guys, thank you so much for sharing, dropping your comments. We're loving it, man, and I hope you guys are too. The pick is in. Trevor Lawrence.
Stunner.
All right, who's he going to hug first? Who's he going to hug first?
Look how stylish he is, by the way. Look at that suit.
Where are
you
socks?
kidding me?
Stand up.
Look at that suit.
He hugged nobody.
Hang on, here we go.
That's the wife.
Wifey, wifey.
Wife for the win.
And here we go, man. You're looking at Trevor Lawrence here on the field. You know, he can run the play action, the read option. He's got a great arm, good vision, can see the whole field.
Yep.
Make any throw. What more can you say about him?
Lots of RPOs, lots of screens. There's not a lot of traditional stuff, like, drop back, play action, deep shots with him. But, some of this is some of the weapons they have at Clemson it's ridiculous. Like, even next year, like, Justin Ross is going to be a superstar.
Yeah.
And it's, he can make every throw you want him to make. He's mobile. One of the things, a big thing that's happening in the NFL now is being able to create plays outside the structure of a play. So you know that things are going to break down. Anywhere you go, Jacksonville, I mean, do you think he's going to be protected real well? No.
But he does have weapons around him. LaVisca Chenault last year, James Robinson, they got...
They have DJ Shark.
Yep, they got Marvin Jones from us,
They have weapons.
It's a bevel offense.
Yep, he's going to need to be creative. He's going to need to be able to do things while pressured outside the structure of a play, and he can do those things.
Yeah.
It's one of the reasons he's getting drafted where he is.
Let's be perfectly honest. It's a perfect configuration to make Jacksonville very intriguing. Not only because of Trevor Lawrence, but because of Urban Meyer.
Yes.
And he's going to get ill jokes aside. This is a guy that has won everywhere. He did it at BG. He did it at Utah. He did it at Florida. He did it at Ohio State. Will he be able to do it in the National Football League? It's a horse of a different color, and you have to build things up. But I'll tell you what, for one, I'm really intrigued to see what that guy's going to be able to do down in Jacksonville.
Yeah, I think he's going to do great things. It's going to be interesting to watch that because they are a young offense now with the pieces that they put together. I mean, the biggest question mark now, obviously, outside of their defense, is their offensive line.
Yes.
Are they going to be able to give him enough time to do the things that he can do with the weapons that they have?
And that's where he's going to need to be a little creative with his feet and to be able to move the chains outside the structure of a play. But Zack Wilson, we think Zack Wilson's going to be the next pick.
Yeah, they're definitely hyping him up.
Yeah, and he is such an let's watch the highlights. He's such an exciting player, the things that he's capable of. Like, I mean, it's an easy throw. The guy's wide open, but it's more the desire to make that throw. Outside this off flap, look at this throw.
Right. No, I mean, honestly, like, the thing I love about Zack Wilson is Adam turned me on to him about, 3 months ago. Adam called it out. He's like, you know who I would love? I would love Zack Wilson in the second or third round. And this was before the hype train was built around him.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, the guy's going to be the second overall pick in the NFL draft.
But you can just see it the way look at that. That's ridiculous. The way he throws the ball. Adam, you must have just seen it with him.
He's
the
a
way
thick
he throws
kid, too.
Yeah, just the way he throws the ball, the natural playmaking ability. some of the stuff he does is very flashy. I love the way he plays. Some people don't.
Scott and I have been talking about him for probably a year, Scott. Is that a fair statement?
Yeah.
I called Scott the night of the bowl game, and I don't know how many of you guys stayed up and watched that. That was laugh out loud fun. I mean, I'm not joking. That kid put on such a freaking show that in that moment, the people out there that thought, and this is what we tell people every year when Scott and I talk about this, quarterbacks are going to reveal themselves before the draft next year. Mark my words.
Yeah.
Zach Wilson is a guy that revealed himself. And for some people, it was probably even late because this guy made a serious name for himself. He's uber talented. He's uber exciting. And I'll tell you what, I think New York's going to love him.
I do too. I think there's a little bit of discipline with him so there's two trains of thought. Either you really appreciate his playmaking ability and his ability to do things like, the underhand, no-look stuff, the flashy point guard kind of stuff, or you might not like that stuff, and it just depends on what you're looking for from a quarterback. If you want a guy who's super disciplined with his feet and who does everything flawlessly, Zach Wilson's not your guy.
Do you think he's that much measurably better than Sam Darnold?
I think he's different than Sam Darnold. Okay. I don't know that he's measurably better, but the circumstances are very different now. Zack Wilson going to play for Adam Gase with the weapons that they had, I would say it wouldn't be such a huge difference.
Or just saying playing with Adam Gase. Like, if you play with Adam Gase.
Yeah. Scott, can I bring up something? I want to bring up something, and arguably Sam Darnold's lowest moment. Is this stuff that scouts worry about? What's upstairs with this guy?
Yeah.
The I'm seeing ghost type of stuff. Okay? Yes. Because you know what? He's looked like he's been scared his entire career.
Yes, but that's part of the Adam Gase problem. Do you remember Ryan Tannehill?
Yes.
Oh, man.
I mean, we're not looking at a guy who helps his quarterbacks at all.
Sure.
At all. So, did Darnold look rough at times? He did. He did. But he has more talent than Darnold does in some ways. He has more natural playmaking ability. Darnold's a good quarterback. I would expect him to be. Functional.
The pick is in. The Jets.
We know what this one is too.
Yeah.
Don't
100% Zach Wilson.
100%.
I would say 99%.
I mean, Vegas has
a
negative 3,000.
Justin Fields.
Negative 3,000 for Zach Wilson, plus 1,200.
Do you want to bet on that?
For Justin Fields?
Okay.
No.
Where's Joik? Joik always likes a good bet.
Will you give me?
I'll give Joik 99-1 odds. How's that?
And Joik's up 1,000 right now. So.
I'll give you $1 if you give me 100.
Yeah, fair.
Okay. Bet.
Oh man, look at the Jets fans going.
No way in Hades I'm giving you $100.
I'm not giving you $1.
You wonder where Gary V right now is, because he's a huge Jets fan, and that's what I love about Gary V is like even though the guy's a billionaire, he can still be a stupid fan like me.
Where's Maz?
Absolutely.
Maz, where is Maz?
Oh, Maz is
over
doing
there
Maz
with
things.
D-Mac. Fish is over there.
Come on, Maz.
Easy. It's a good time.
Ridiculous.
I like how they got the lounge chair up there for the one super fan that they bring on stage.
We did that in our high school program for our offensive lineman of the game.
Really?
So everybody would have to stand in the meeting, like the Saturday morning meeting, except for the one offensive lineman.
Here's the pick.
Be quick so we can hear
Sorry.
Zach Wilson, baby, the number 2.
Zach Wilson, I love you.
And here he is, just a beautiful All-American boy.
I'm sorry you're not going to be a Lion.
I love the meme that said Zach Wilson is the type of guy that Disney would hire to play Zach Wilson in a Disney movie.
Yes.
It's so true.
Because that guy's going to make millions in New York.
Oh, absolutely.
Millions.
They're going to love him. Yeah. Absolutely.
He's a handsome fella.
Now, guys, this is where it gets interesting.
Yeah, here we go.
Because we're not 100% sold on San Francisco. Scott, I'm going to say it again. I still think pick 4 is the pick that can determine what the Lions are going to do. San Francisco's going to go quarterback, okay? Which quarterback is the question? That's the question.
I think it's Trey Lance. It's just a suspicion. The Mac Jones stuff to me all along has been
smokescreen?
No, not necessarily smokescreen, but I do think that his workout blew them away. And then as they dug into the process of finding out more about Trey Lance as a player, they they fell more for him, and he has more upside than Mac Jones. He just does. But we do need to talk about Mac Jones. The media has made Mac Jones out to be something that he's not, in a negative way.
Right.
So you have Trevor Lawrence, athlete. You have Zack Wilson, athlete. You have Justin Fields, athlete. You have Trey Lance, athlete. And then there's Mac Jones, who's not the athlete that these other guys are, but he is athletic.
Right.
It's not like he's he's
4.7 40.
I know he's not a slob.
He's not slow.
No, it's just he deals with pressure differently than the other quarterbacks, and I would say that in some ways he deals with pressure better than the quarterbacks whose initial reaction is to just get out of the pocket, escape. Now the thing with these guys is when they escape, their desire is to still make throws downfield.
Right.
That's the difference. It's not just like, even with Justin Fields, as athletic as he is, he still wants to throw the ball. Where Mac Jones is more, I'm going to take a little subtle movement in the pocket, a little sidestep to buy a touch of time. It's not as flashy as it is with the other four quarterbacks, but it's still effective. And then there's the component that he is accurate. I think there's a little problem with his arm where it looks lesser than at times because he's not real assertive with his front foot when he's throwing the ball, so there's not a lot of torque coming through.
Right.
And there are times when he'll drift away from the line of scrimmage too when he sees pressure. But I think he has enough arm to make things happen. It's just, does he fit their system better than the other quarterbacks? And earlier on in the process, I believe they thought he did. I think they might have fallen for Trey Lance's upside at this point.
Scott, we also have to remember what he was dealing with in Alabama. And I think this is maybe where some of that negativity comes from. You have an unbelievable offensive line blocking for you, and you have two top 10 wide receivers on either end. So I think maybe
even more.
People are almost knocking him. Well, I could have gone back there and done that. He could have gone back there and done that. Listen, I'm going to say it again. I think, and I know I've told you this for months, I think this is a guy that needs to go someplace that can protect him.
Look at, they got clones. All his brothers are clones.
If this guy goes to a place that is ill-equipped to protect him, I worry about him.
Yeah, he's in trouble.
Yeah.
He's in trouble.
Well, looking at the Vegas odds for the third overall pick, Justin Fields minus 125, Mac Jones plus 150, Trey Lance plus 225. So they're favoring Justin Fields here. And I was with you. I think San Francisco moved up to get Mac Jones because he's the most plug-and-play guy right now. And they feel that they're this close. Like, they feel they're still regretting that Jimmy Garoppolo throw from 2 years ago. And they think they're that close to getting it. And obviously last year, they have $90 million at one point on IR?
Yeah, and the injuries have just been killer. But is Mac Jones an upgrade? Is he an upgraded Jimmy Garoppolo? And in some ways, yeah. I mean, I think he's a little more mentally capable.
Okay.
He doesn't throw the ball like Garoppolo does. He can spin it.
Right.
But Jones is, his ability to deal with pressure and his accuracy and his decision-making and that kind of stuff, I think, is more advanced than where Garoppolo is. So you can see how they'd be intrigued by Mac Jones. It gives them an upgrade over the quarterback on a rookie deal.
Right.
There's just maybe a touch of regret. We'll see. I mean, this is going to be an interesting pick.
There's the San Fran War Room clapping it up, so it looks like they got their man, whoever that may be at this point.
Well, this is going to set it going forward.
Right.
It's going to be chaos from this point.
Oh, man. The buyer's remorse of trading away all those picks and being like, maybe we shouldn't have done that.
Let's be honest, though. I mean, if San Francisco isn't ready for this, shame on them, and that entire front office is going to be fired. Well, because the bottom line is this. When they made that deal, going back to late March, everybody and their brother knew who was going 1 and 2. You know what I mean?
Right.
So there should be no debate over what they're going to do. You go up there and get things done.
To your point, Sean, they talked to the Jets for a while to get up to pick 2. They knew the Jets were taking Zack Wilson.
Absolutely.
They still went to 3.
Yep.
So, the mentality of they're settling for one of 5 players who might be there at pick 3 and they're just cool doing it all. I don't know that I ever bought any of that. I think they went up intentionally for a player and then might have ended up getting trapped by another guy.
How strongly do you think it's going to be Lance? I put your little Bischoff percentage on it.
I mean, it's a coin flip. I
expect John Lynch to make the smart move. That's what I expect. No matter what position you put John Lynch in, he's proven that they know how to draft.
I agree.
They know what their team is looking
The
for.
smarter move, I think, is Mac Jones. I think it's a smarter, safer pick.
Then that's what I would assume they would make.
I think that's a fair way to look at it.
Well, and you know I'm a dumbass. I want the guy with ceiling. I would take Trey Lance if I was in their position.
I would take Trey Lance here all day long.
And they are in an interesting position because they do have Garoppolo, which they could sit Trey Lance for another year. But do you want to waste another year of a Kittle? Do you want to waste another year of that badass
So
defense?
they need to hire the Chargers team doctor and have him puncture Garoppolo's lung like in week 10, and they're good.
Adam, can you go to Joy Cam real quick?
Pick is in, guys.
The pick is in.
The pick is in.
We're flying.
Show Joy Cam real quick, though. Joy's over there talking trash to everybody. Joey, the pick's in.
Hey, Joy, we need to. What just happened?
Get
look
down,
right
Joey.
Here, Joy.
What happens? This is what happens. You get a couple drinks, you go to the bar, you feeling good, you got a couple girls around, you got a couple, hey, what your son doing?
Look at my
see what your
wife.
son did. Your son brought 2 bands home.
He's on the
Hey,
list.
take his quarterback knee. Take his quarterback knee. Look at his face. Can we get the camera on him?
Dude, he's pissed.
The camera's on him.
On him already. The deal was this.
My wife just added Zack Wilson to her list.
I said, you can pay me.
So it's Jason Momoa and Zack Wilson.
I said, my boss over here. I'm going to bring my boy Boss. And I said, you lose. We need the money tonight. We need the money.
Look how scared that fucking kid is right now. He's like, shit, I'm 2 grand deep.
You can't leave out of here. We need the money. Where the goons?
Dude, look at him.
Where the goons?
Oh, he wants you to get out of here. Where the goons?
All right, the pick is in, Adam.
Wow.
Joy,
I don't think.
Corey is saying Trey Lance. Corey is saying Trey Lance. All right, here we go.
Hey.
Roger Goodell approaching.
You guys are about to find out why I make the big bucks.
Yeah?
Yeah.
All right. Oh, my goodness. Trey Lance.
Yeah. Who knew?
Congrats.
Who knew?
Congrats, Dion. Holy shit. Wow. Quarterbacks 1, 2, 3.
Let me tell you something.
Look at Trey Lance, man.
I'm going to repeat this. What an unbelievable snow job by the San Francisco 49ers. They convinced everybody that they were taking Mac Jones. Now, you know what the question is? We'll get to Trey Lance in a second. Where the hell does Mac Jones go?
Let's get to Trey Lance right now while he's on the screen. Look at this guy making plays. Look at the athletic ability. Obviously, he's not playing against A1 competition, but he just took out 4 fucking men.
Doesn't matter.
But listen.
Doesn't matter.
That right there doesn't really teach you all that much from if he's doing that at the NFL level, he's going to do that for 1 game.
Okay.
So what the same thing with Trevor Lawrence is a little bit with Lance is you got to pick your spots.
Right.
So they ran a lot of quarterback power with him, which you're not going to see at the NFL level. You're just not. But when you talk about bootleg action type stuff, half field stuff where they roll him out, perfect guy for it. He's accurate. He's 20 years old. I mean, the upside with him is so incredible. He's worthy of this selection. He really is, just on the upside.
What a great story.
Yeah.
I'm going to go back to this for a second, though. Scott, originally, people thought that Mac Jones would be a late first round, maybe even second round.
The first
Scott,
show we did,
he could have an Aaron Rodgers fall. He could legitimately fall 20-plus spots.
Mac Jones will end up a Chicago Bear.
Oh, more than the Patriots? You think more than the Patriots?
At 20?
Okay.
I could see the Bears moving up at some point here. Not now.
Okay.
But at some point, maybe in front of New England for Mac Jones. I could see that happening. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but I mean, it's a reasonable thing to think.
What a risk for Trey Lance, though, honestly. I mean, I know they have the safety net with Garoppolo right there, but, you know, the guy, it's just such a risky pick because of where he plays, how he plays, and what he was able to accomplish.
They're all risky picks. I mean, like right now, it's, you know.
I get it. That's part of the job, but
You're right, though.
To trade all of that for a question mark, usually you would trade all of that for a sure thing.
This is the 49ers putting their nuts on the table.
And I love it.
Period.
This is where, you know what, Stick, this goes back to something we have talked about ad nauseum. If you and your staff love a guy, fucking draft him.
Go get him.
Go get him.
Yeah.
I mean, and obviously that's the way they feel. Look how they're celebrating.
Now, they're
going to
tell you soon that they loved Lance the entire time.
Yeah.
That the entire thing was a smokescreen to ensure that Lance stayed on the board for them. And they're going to talk about him glowingly about how he, for their system, he's the best player right now and going forward. That's what you're going to hear from the 49ers.
Well,
this pick right now is the pivot point.
How soon do you think he starts?
So there are rumors that Jimmy Garoppolo is going to get traded this weekend.
I heard during the draft. That's actually a prop bet.
Is it reasonable? Yeah. I think it's possible. Is it too soon for Trey Lance to start? No. I think he could play there. I think because of how friendly that system is and some of the design stuff for him, I think that he can play. It's just, do you want to throw him to the Wolves? He's a young kid, but he is a super smart football player. He's, my guess is on the whiteboard, he's stunned people with his ability to recall, his ability to draw up. Like, this is where a safety's leverage is. This is where you need to be with the ball.
I got to tell you guys again.
I'm very excited for him.
You know what? Lion fans, pay attention in the next 4 minutes.
Yes.
This pick is huge for the Lions. And this is something we've talked about. I did a radio hit on my way here. Pick 4 is the one that you have to look at. What is Atlanta going to do? Is Atlanta going to go Chase? Is Atlanta going to go Pitts? Is Atlanta going to go Justin Fields? This is the one that's intriguing because I think what happens with 4, we might get a clearer picture. Not 100%, but we might get a clearer picture of what the Lions might do at 7. 4 is a really big pick to see where the next few picks in the draft go.
Could you imagine if another quarterback went off the board right now?
It'd be
4 in a row.
unbelievable.
And think of all the talent that's now the Lions essentially have a number 3 pick.
Yep.
Like that's what happens if that goes on right now. Justin Fields, I think, would be a great fit in Atlanta. I mean, to me, Atlanta was kind of in the position that the Lions were before they traded Matthew Stafford. You got a quarterback a little long in the tooth. Eventually his run is going to come to an end, so you may want to start insulating that position right now.
Yep.
And to me, this is a great spot for them to do it. But also, do you want to give it that last shot with Matt Ryan?
Sure.
Do you want to add a Kyle Pitts? Because now they want to trade Julio, but you got your Calvin Ridley, you got your Pitts, and that's an explosive offense.
If you're moving Julio Jones, your natural replacement would be Kyle Pitts.
Yeah.
It would be a way to replace his production. The pick is in. My guess it's Kyle Pitts.
Oh, man.
I love that noise.
I know. It's like porn.
A little bit.
I wish I made that sound.
Oh, man.
Hold on, baby. Hold on.
That is not a visual that's going to leave my head anytime soon.
Yeah, we're talking porn, and then they flash booger up there. I don't need that in my life.
Went from
just don't need that in my
midnight
life.
to 6 real quick with booger on the screen.
Yeah, indeed.
You are a piece of work.
Thanks,
midnight
Scott.
to 6.
Yeah, we've never done a show together, have we, Scott?
No.
You're usually a guest on the Baligian and Bell show.
No, it's fun. It's awesome.
Yeah. No, we love having it, man. It's great to talk to an expert, too, because I want to see how
When is he getting here?
Here we go. Here we go.
Kyle Pitts.
You think it's Pitts?
I do.
You think so? God, I hope they go quarterback.
Wild card is Justin Fields, man. It just is.
Go Justin Fields.
Hey, Scott, let me say this right now, and I hate to tease people, okay? If it's Kyle Pitts, the Lions' chances of Penny Sewell being there at 7 just skyrocketed.
Oh, yeah. Oh, for sure.
Skyrocketed.
It's Penny Sewell, Jamar Chase, Jalen Waddle available at 7. One of them.
Yes.
I'm
and
okay
you talk
with all
about
of them
6 to
but
midnight.
Waddle.
No.
I don't want Waddle.
Now,
Why?
the interesting question would be
Chase
with
at
the
7.
Bengals. Are you going lineman to help protect Joey B, or are you going to give him a weapon? That's going to be a great question.
The Bengals are going to bangle. We know the Bengals are going to bangle. That's
But
what
it's
they're
going to be
people are
Sewell or
saying-
Slater. Because I've heard Slater's higher on their board than Sewell.
Could it be Chase with his shoes that he has
It
on
sure
today?
could be with his orange and white and black shoes.
Here we go. The selection is in. Come on. There it is.
Okay, so
bye, Julio.
Can I listen about when did we first do our first show?
Damn. Good for you, Kyle Pitts.
8 weeks ago, 10 weeks ago?
It was late January.
What
wasn't
were
it?
we telling people then about Kyle Pitts? We were talking about Kyle Pitts,
top non-quarterback in the draft.
We were talking about him like an offensive weapon, like a wide receiver back. I feel bad talking this way, but we do have to talk about it a little. It is obvious what he is as a player.
Look at him run away from guys too.
I mean, that's Patrick Surtain.
Right.
We're talking top 10 pick in this draft.
Yeah, the SEC is not a weak league.
No. I mean, this is like, there's just nothing he can't do. He wins on the boundary. He wins with route running. He's huge. He's open all the time. I mean, big wingspan. He's one of the things that was talked about earlier is he doesn't vertical like Calvin did, right? So there's not that huge element of going up and getting it. But he's 6'6" with really long arms, so he is always open.
Right.
Here he is attached to the line of scrimmage.
And that's the thing with him. How is he as a blocker, though?
He's a very willing blocker.
Okay.
But this is what we said 2 months ago. If you're drafting Kyle Pitts, it's like you and I going to the Lamborghini store up the street.
All right.
If we're in Canada, right, and buying a Lamborghini and taking it home and throwing a hitch on it and pulling trees out of the front yard. Why would we do that?
Right.
You buy a Lamborghini if you're going to drive fast.
Okay.
Pitts is that guy. So I think this is a scenario where Julio Jones could be on the move for cap reasons. He's getting older. He's not producing anywhere like he used to.
Yeah, he's got like $33.8 million over the next 3 years in the cap hit.
It's just can you designate that post June 1?
Right.
You may not be getting picks in this draft to make that trade, but you might have to do something like that.
But who wants a Julio Jones at this point? And who can afford a Julio Jones?
Green Bay would love Julio Jones.
That is the one place that scares the shit out of me.
The 49ers would love Julio Jones.
Right.
They just got themselves a weapon. And it was funny, Scott, I don't know if you saw, ESPN said a comp, and they comped him to Darren Weller. With all due respect to Darren Weller, who's a fine, fine player, Kyle Pitts is infinitely more talented and capable.
He's much more explosive than
Absolutely.
Darren Waller. Darren Waller is a great tight end who runs incredible routes, but Darren Waller is not running away from secondaries. Kyle Pitts will.
Yeah.
Either through physicality or speed.
Now, I'm going to repeat this again when we're talking about Cincinnati. This is an intrigue. They're going to go offense. Are they going to protect Joey B, their investment, who looked so good until he had that horrific knee injury, or are they going to give him a weapon? Cincinnati might go Jamar Chase here. I don't know for sure if it's Sewell. Now, what would I do? I would go Penny Sewell all day.
Yeah.
But as a Lion fan, I hope they do go Jamar Chase because that increases the Lions' chances of getting Penny Sewell.
Let's check in with Joey over there in the VIP lounge right now. Joey, how's it going, man?
We got to welcome Deontay here, who going crazy back there. So we got to talk to Deontay. What do you think about number Kyle Pitts to the Atlanta Falcons?
I think it was a good pick for Atlanta, but at the same time, it's kind of like iffy. I feel like the Falcons should have focused on defense with the number 4 pick. But with Kyle Pitts, the best tight end in the draft, I think you just had to reach and take him and just focus on defense in second round.
So Kyle Pitts is gone. Pretty much all the quarterbacks besides Six Boy, Mac Jones is gone. Where do you think the Lions go now?
Lions need to focus on defense. I mean, we need a receiver as well. Kenny Galladay was a big loss. So I say either O-line or somewhere in the secondary.
Just said they really got to go defense, and he said, yeah, I would go with the O-line.
I know, but because it's like, man, the Lions need so much help, man. It's ridiculous. O-line, man, O-line.
All right. Thank you, Joey. Thank you very much. Adam Schefter. The 49ers did not tell their coaches or scouts their pick. They didn't know when the team was selecting Trey Lance until the pick was announced. That's how you play your cards close to the vest, man.
Beautiful.
Yeah, and that's what I hope the new Lions regime is doing, too.
So at this point in time, do we know what the Lions are doing?
No.
Any idea?
No, and that's what I love.
That's a great thing.
Normally I do. Normally it's like, all right, last year at this time, it popped up in my Facebook memories. My quote was, God, I'm so happy the draft is tonight. I can't wait until the Lions fuck up their pick so something will feel normal. And it felt normal.
You had some normalcy for a day.
Oh, it felt amazing. This time last year, that's all I wanted was for them to fuck up the pick. Now I want a new birth.
I still like Jeff Okudah. I do. Yeah. I really do. All right? And anybody that throws away a player after a year, you're out your mind, especially when you're talking about a cornerback. They screwed up that entire process.
Right.
They devalued it 24 hours before the draft. Thank you.
Yeah.
Really, that's what happened. At the end of the day, that's exactly what happened. And it's part of the reason why those guys don't have a job right now.
Sometimes you got to put bait in the water, and it just seems they never did. Picks in.
Can't wait for this one.
I think it's Jamar Chase. The smartest play is Penei Sewell, but
it's the Bengals.
I understand why they would want to lock up Jamar Chase with Joe Burrow, because those two guys, the chemistry they had in 2019 was just ridiculous. Just ridiculous.
Glad you could make it.
And so if you're telling me that they're going to draft a player like Alex Leatherwood in round 2.
The pick is in.
And with Jamar Chase, I think that makes sense.
Sure.
I do.
And Leatherwood would be there in all likelihood in the early part of the second round.
Yeah, and if they want to get aggressive.
Sure was in my mocks.
Jump up into the bottom of the first round and grab right tackle.
I can't tell you how many times I drafted Leatherwood doing mock drafts.
Leatherwood.
All right, so who you guys got here? Honestly,
I think it's Jamar
Chase.
Chase? You're both with Chase?
Chase. And I don't think it's the right pick. I really don't. I don't think it's the right pick. I would do everything I could to protect Joe Burrow.
I just don't understand. You don't need Jamar Chase. You drafted T. Higgins last year. You have Tyler Boyd, which has turned out to be a pretty damn good possession receiver. When we're talking fantasy football, he's a top 15 guy. Yeah. You have Joe Mixon, who, when healthy, is an elite back. They got rid of Giovanni Bernard, so you're assuming Mixon's going to be their featured back this year.
But
why they don't need weapons?
So selecting Jamar Chase slots in. He's wide receiver 1 for you. It allows T. Higgins to see lesser coverage on the boundary, on the outside. It allows Tyler Boyd to slide into the slot, where they both can be more effective.
Right, but do you really need 3 wide receivers when you have 0 linemen?
They have Jonah Williams. He's a solid left tackle. They just signed Riley Reef.
There you go.
But you're looking at a scenario where you've got to address right tackle in round 2.
Right.
You do.
Yeah, they got to go a heavy line.
They do.
Probably second and third round if they do that.
Yes.
Yeah.
So there's the philosophy thing is, do you take the elite receiver and then hit the position a couple times, or do you take the safety of tackle and then miss out on receiver?
I was having a conversation with the big man, Chad Johnson, of course, from Lady Jane's and Woodward Sports.
Yeah, he was just right here.
About an hour ago, and Chad said, it was funny, Chad said, pointing at me, the Bengals should take Sewell. I know the Bengals should take Sewell, but because they're the Bengals, they're going to take Chase. And I was like, that might be the best logic I hear all night.
That's exactly how it will go.
Yeah, Bengals are going to bangle, man. This is what they do. So
this right here could open the door for the Lions to go in a variety of ways.
Yeah, 4 and 5 were really the trivial picks to really the first 20 picks of this draft and how it's going to fall.
And let's be honest, to add another layer of the intrigue, it could also open up the door for another team to come calling and asking the Lions about pick 7.
That's what I'm thinking.
It really could.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, with Fields and Mac Jones still on there, then you have the guys that need the quarterbacks wanting to move up more. So I can see it right now. Here comes Roger Goodell. I love that the dude is up there in his Zuba pants. We'll hit the sounder one more time because we love it. All right.
Here we go.
Bengals gonna bangle, baby! Sewell!
He's going to Miami at 6. You know it's happening.
Don't do that.
I don't know. They could give
Don't
a waddle.
do that, Scott. Don't do that.
I don't want to do that, but I'm not getting my hopes up either.
Don't do that.
Well, let's talk about Jamar Chase
Don't
here.
do that.
I mean, elite receiver, the complete package, one of the best prospects to come out in a long time. They were comparing him to Justin Jefferson, even though he's only 6 foot, but he's a big, thick guy.
I would compare him to a Steve Smith-like player, just not from a super explosive standpoint, but from that alpha He is
the mentality.
He is a dog.
Yeah.
And that's what I meant earlier. I didn't say it well, but what I meant earlier, it's a stunner. What I meant was his presence on the field and that alpha is good for T. Higgins. It's good for Tyler Boyd.
Right.
It's really good for Joe Burrow. They may give up 60 points a game, but they're going to score that many too.
And I'm going to tell you what. I'm telling you right now. No, you know what? I'm going to save it. I'm going to save it for the pick. I was about to go on a rant, but I'm going to save it for the pick when the Lions pick. I just, you know what I'm going to do, Scott? I'm going to remind people right now, okay? I hope you're enjoying this right now. I hope you're enjoying people chanting Sewell, but I don't know if you know this. There are more rounds tomorrow.
Yes.
And believe it or not, there are rounds on Saturday as well. So if you're one of those people getting ready to cry, the Lions had a terrible defense and they didn't even address defense. There's 7 rounds!
And don't forget, they got a lot of picks next year, too. This is not we know our defense was historically bad this year. We know we got to address that side of the ball, but if they can build their offensive line, to me, we talked about this earlier, Sean. The last time the Lions were actually somewhat successful is when they had a dominant offensive line. And they haven't really had that since the early 90s. They've tried to assemble it. They've taken the Lincoln Tomlinsons. They've taken the Gosler Cherilus. They've taken those guys, and they just haven't worked out. But never have we already had 2 pieces in place and could add a third.
I've always laughed about this, and just to let people know, Stick and I had this conversation a few weeks ago.
In.
All right, let's go to the pick right now. This is huge.
Oh, wait, he's not walking up yet. Make your point. You got time,
No, but listen, Dallas had like a Hall of Fame line, okay?
Yeah.
Back in the Emmett-Barry argument, Dallas had a Hall of Fame line. But one thing that has happened over the years is I've heard people say, oh, the Lions had a crap line. That is 100% false. That was a darn good line here. It wasn't Dallas's line.
Kevin Glover,
yep.
Come on.
Lomas. It wasn't Dallas's line, but it was a darn good line, and don't forget that.
Yeah.
That's how you rebuild. You start, you take care of your trenches, everything will fall together after that.
It's crazy because football is really such a simple game, too, when you break it down like that. If I can punch you in the mouth and push you 2 to 3 yards back off the line of scrimmage, guess what? More than likely, I'm going to win that play. And more than likely, if I can compile enough of those over enough time, I am going to win the game.
Yep.
Because by the 4th quarter, you're going to get sick of getting punched in the mouth because it's not fun.
Scott, are you hearing anything about this? Because
I'm trying to find something.
The anticipation is killing me right now because this is to have a guy that if you've been watching us the last few months, all of us, I literally thought that Penei Sewell was a pipe dream, okay?
Yeah.
We're one fucking pick away from getting him.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, and it's like I want to go grab the pipe and toke up because this is insane that we're
Sean,
even having this
just
conversation.
in case you were wondering.
Yeah.
Shout out to Levels. Thank you for everything that you do for us. Oh, look at that nice white crispy suit. And you know what we haven't seen? They haven't done the sob story so far this year.
Good call.
And I'm happy to see that. Like, it's more of an entertainment aspect of this now.
Yeah.
So what do we think about Jalen Waddle's? I'm not saying it's Waddle, but his fit with Tua.
Yes.
It's interesting. Burrow gets paired with Chase.
Yes.
Waddle might get paired with Tua.
Isn't that funny?
That's what we want. That's what we want to happen.
That's exactly it.
Oh, gosh.
Well,
No, I really hope they not waste the pick on Waddle. I'm just not as convinced on Waddle as I am on Chase. And that's really it. To me, this draft is very similar for a lot of positions. You have your tier 1 guy, then there's like 2 guys in tier 2, and then there's just a plethora of tier 3 guys, especially in the wide receiver category.
So I think Waddle might be the most explosive player in the draft. Pitts is too, but Waddle is a game-changing player just by being in the huddle. He just is. He's going to open up huge parts of the field just because of his speed. His speed is rare.
Right.
He's smaller. He's 5'10" and 180 pounds, but the ability for him to make plays happen with his speed and open up parts of an offense for you is kind of unmatched in this class.
Right.
I look at Miami and I see Will Fuller as their vertical threat, and I think about Jalen Waddle running drags and crossers and having him outrun linebackers and safeties and defensive backs to the sideline. And I think that dynamic for their offense is game changing. It's just are they going to get lured into the same thing the Bengals just did?
Right. Well, I hope so. I hope they're mystified by the specialty skill players, man. Because we need to build our line. Uh-oh.
Okay.
You know?
I do.
Are we going to be happy or are we going to be sad?
Yeah, it's Jalen Waddle. It's going to be Jalen Waddle.
Yes! Really?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
Really? Those guys are about to be hype as shit over there, man. Okay.
I hope I was given accurate information.
All right, here comes Roger Goodell. He's up there. He's shaking the hands of the Miami Dolphins fan. I'm going to hit the button.
What is that? Are you going to show me your boobs?
Yeah.
No. Only if you ask twice.
Here we go. Waddle.
Unbelievable. 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 Wow. Scott, can I use your quote again?
Oh, baby.
Please. If Penny Sewell is there, don't walk, run up to the podium.
So the only thing here is,
run.
Are you in a situation where you might be able to exploit a team like the Chargers?
You definitely could.
This has been this is a dreamlike scenario for the Lions.
Waddle is very fast.
His speed is ridiculous.
Joey, go talk to those guys real quick. That's like the Sewell fan club over there. And now that we got a shot to get him, Joey.
I can't believe it. I didn't think in a million years.
Look at him all run the safeties here.
I told you that the Lions are up next, and guess who is still on the board?
I love it. Take
Sewell. Hey, this is the best lineman in the draft. I watched the tape. We both watched the tape.
Bring him home.
Bring him home.
Really care what it takes. Bring the guy home.
The pick is already in, fellas. The pick is in.
Maybe they ran.
We are not trading out of this position.
Maybe they ran to the podium,
trades are
Scott.
happening today. Joey, bring them all behind here. Let's get them all on the camera for this. Everybody stand back here. Yeah.
All right, you guys get in here. Everybody get in here. Everybody get in here.
Adam. Let's go, baby.
Here we go.
Let's go.
Walk. Don't run.
Here we go, man. The pick is in. The pick is in, baby. We're not trading out. We're not trading out.
They ran, not walked. Say his name.
I love that we got the Sewell trade behind us. But what if they take Slater? I mean, honestly, let's have this conversation.
That's kind of what I was mentioning earlier.
Right.
They could make us very sad by going with Sean Slater.
How could we get sad though when you take a guy like that? I mean, I'm not being funny. How could you get sad? Now look, would I rather have Sewell? Yes. But if you're sad over taking him, I think you're out your mind, Scott.
In the past, this would be Micah Parsons. That's all I'm saying.
Okay. All right.
Oh, man, I can't wait to see what happens.
Come on, Raj, walk up there. Just walk up there. And don't mosey up there, Roger. Don't mosey up there. Oh, this is interesting.
Yeah?
No, this is Scott. This is exactly. We were hoping that it would play out this way, but as we said time and time again, this was our pipe dream. Didn't think in a million years that would happen. Let me move out of the way. Yeah, you deserve to be in camera. So boom!
And we got to thank everybody that's watching right now.
Absolutely.
This is Woodward Sports inaugural. I heard that whisper.
Somebody's going to be happy.
Everybody, get ready.
Yes.
Y'all ready?
Somebody's going to be happy right
Sewell?
now. Somebody's going to be happy right now.
Dave?
Adam, are you guys ready for Sewell?
Sewell!
It's coming.
Yeah.
Here it comes.
Here it comes.
Oh, is this beautiful?
Man.
Oh, is this...
You talk about 6 to midnight, buddy. Get ready. We're going to have a DNA bomb.
I'm about to hit this like 18 times. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, man. I absolutely absolutely love this. This has been such a fun draft, man. I am so glad we came down here to Delmar. Especially, we got to give a shout out to our people at Maker's Mark for making this possible. But we're in Greektown right now. We're the only Detroit digital network doing Detroit digital broadcasts, bringing you the NFL draft parties live everywhere that you watch, listen, on the app. Download the app right now. Thank you guys very much. Uh-oh, who's that?
That's Jalen Waddle.
Uh-oh. Why are they showing Jalen Waddle? Oh, okay, good. That was earlier footage. I was going to be my God.
You watch us.
He is such a good player.
Justin Fields is picked. I'm taking my shirt off.
Oh,
keep your shirt on.
Joey still wants Justin Fields. Oh, man.
Oh,
it's interesting that Fields is available. Mac Jones is available.
Dude, so many good players available right now. Like, honestly, if you did away with the first 5 picks, you could start the draft right now and still be like, oh, that guy's a deserving number 1.
The Lions are about to get a player who in a normal year...
Dan Campbell, baby! Dan Campbell, baby!
Kneecaps! 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 Kneecaps!
Oh, my God.
If you want this shirt, it's available right now at woodwardsports.com. Go get this bitch. Oh, man. I love this.
So the guy they're going to take would normally go second in just about every draft there is.
That's what I'm
just
saying.
is. Yeah, I mean, it's...
Like, chop the first 6 picks off of this draft, and you still, like, you'd be like, oh, okay, that's a number 1 pick. Oh, that guy's number 2.
I think that if we have a contingent of people really excited about an offensive lineman, it's a really good pick.
It's a really good
When
pick.
have you seen that?
No.
Like, I know I said that earlier, but honestly, like...
Because you know what we do every year,
different.
Stick? We hope and pray that this year will be different and things will fall into our lap.
Right.
And you know what? It did this year. This guy fell into the Lions' lap. And I go back... What are you guys doing? To our first few shows that you and I did, Scott, where we literally talked about it, and we were like, my jaw dropped. I don't know why I'm trying to talk right now. I'm just going to let this speak for us.
Good job.
Hey, man, love you guys. So happy we're doing this today.
Enjoy this, Lion fans.
This is the smartest draft the Lions have had in my lifetime. The smartest draft. Oh, look at that sexy man. Let's watch this motherfucker. Penny Sewell.
So just watch him get out to the second level.
Yeah, he is amazing.
He is like 350 pounds here.
Sewell. Oh, my God.
I got to run to the bathroom and take care of some business. I'm so excited right now. I'm serious.
Look at that. Oh!
You ready for them pancake blocks?
The Lions are going to have a damn good line, and we have not been able to say that in a long time.
So that's what I was going to ask. Where do they rank now, do you think? Are they up there with Indy? Are they up there with those types of lines? Okay.
So we have to see him play. He's got to, we still need a right guard. But
it's a new day. Yes, it is. It's a new day. I'm positive. Oh, I'm so excited. I got to go to the bathroom.
So the nice thing about Penny Sewell is that he's going to play right tackle for you for a few years. But then he's going to kick over and play left tackle for you when Taylor Decker moves on. So not only does he solidify the right side of your line, but he is 20 years old. We have film of him as an 18-year-old and a 19-year-old in his last season in college. And the film is ridiculous. He's going to play for 10-plus seasons for you at a high level.
Look at that reaction in the Lion room. You're damn right you should be jumping up and down like that. Nobody thought this was going to happen, that he was going to fall to 7. This was a pipe dream.
We did it. We did it, y'all. This is why this is Detroit's Super Bowl right here. The new hope, the new optimism, the way this really sets the tone for what this type of management group and leadership structure is going to do here.
Stack smart move upon smart move and keep doing them, and you give yourself a better chance to be successful than not. And this is a very smart move. They may have had an opportunity to trade out. They might have been able to go down to 13.
Joy, come
Stay there, make the pick.
Get on
Smart
here,
move.
Joy. What do you feel about this pick?
Hey, this is a great pick. We needed a guy with his tenacity. We needed a guy to come in with that grit, with that Detroit mentality, putting people on the floor, getting pancakes. We need it all. And then after you put him on the ground, you stand over him and look at it. That's what we do here in the D.
Detroit what? Detroit what?
Look at it. We got my boys.
Let's go, Joey.
Hey, absolutely love this party right now, man. I needed this in my life, Sean. I needed this in my life.
This is awesome. This is so cool.
Shit show.
This is
Little bit.
Oh, man. Oh, and I guess Carolina's got to make picks now. There's still the rest of the draft to go.
Whew.
Man.
You know what? This is now, Scott, my mind, you know how my brain is. My mind is already saying, what do you do in round 2? Because, again, I'm going to tell you, you guys take a little time, do a little research. There are some unbelievably good players coming up for the Lions' second pick. I mean, you're talking about linebackers. You're talking about wide receivers. You're talking about unbelievable options for this Lion team.
Such a smart pick.
Well, and here's what I love about it. When you look at Jared Goff, where is he most successful? In the play-action pass. He's actually very elite in the play-action pass if you go back to what he did with his last team. And then you look at, okay, last year we solidified our backfield. We bring in a Jamal Williams this year to have a 3-headed monster. And now with our offensive line, we can run play-action.
Yeah.
And that, like, this is what Dan Campbell said in his initial press conference, was he was going to start coaching the talent to his team. Like, he wasn't going to try to force square pegs into round holes. And what he's doing is he has a quarterback that's strong in the play action, and he's building around that. And I love it.
They're not done today, though. They have 4 picks in the first round of the next 2 drafts.
Yes.
The Lions, I would say it's inconceivable that they will use all of those picks to make selections. They're going to be using those picks to move in and around. It's not out of the realm of possibilities that the Lions are going to jump back in at some point in the, say, the mid-20s. I'm not saying I know anything. I'm just saying that
they've got the capital.
They have the capital
could do it.
to go up and get Eli Moore at, say, pick 24 or whatever. They have the opportunity to do that. So we're not done.
Right.
It's just we've seen this group make smart, solid moves and hire football people and guys who have played and make the organization more attractive to free agents and just more attractive overall in general. And now you make a move like this where I'm positive they had opportunities to move down. This is a foundation-setting move. It tells you that they know that it's going to take time.
Right.
But they have time. Sewell's a player who's going to be here for a long time.
Right.
This is a point. And again, it all has to work on the field. But the decision itself is not something that we're ever going to look back on and think, yeah, that was a bad decision. The decision itself is very smart. It's a composed move. There's a lot of poise behind it. Would it have been, you could have done other things, but it may not have set the culture the way you wanted to set it. This is
Scott, you just said something, and normally, you know me, I would be so intrigued to hear what the trade back options would be. And this year, I don't care.
Right.
They got themselves a stud who still, we talked about ceiling early in the show in regards to the quarterbacks. This is a guy up front, Scott, that still has an incredible ceiling.
Absolutely. Pick is in. Panthers.
Uh-oh. Wow.
Okay.
J.C. Horn.
Okay.
I love J.C. Horn.
I know a guy that had him in his top 10.
I was a guy who had him in the top 10. Did you have him?
Where is my prop bet list?
Yeah? Did you have him going there?
I had him at 9.
I'll show you in a second.
I did. Hold on. You know what, Art? I think I had J.C. Horn going to Carolina.
What I love
don't
about
remember.
J.C. Horn, and we
tomorrow.
talked about this a little bit earlier, was his one-on-one matchups with big-profile players. Like when Jerry Jeudy was in the league last year, he held him to 1 reception for 7 yards. And he pretty much did that to every big-name wide receiver that has come out in the past 2 years. So I know everybody liked Patrick Surtain because of his size and really his pedigree, let's be honest. You got the Surtain last name. But, the Horn last name isn't too shabby either.
No, it's not. And you know what? He is a big dude. He's only 6'1", but take a look at him. That is a muscular frame for a cornerback. It really is. He's a solid 205 pounds, Scott.
So stylistically, he is your physical press man cover corner, right? Surtain plays more off man in a physical style, where Horn wants he wants to get his hands on you.
Right.
Now, some of the issues with Horn are this is not a player who's going to step into an alley with a running back and make tackles consistently over and over and over. There are business decisions that are being made. So he's not physical in that regard, but he is very physical with his hands on and rerouting receivers. It's obvious that Carolina wants that. They want that stylistically. So I think we're going to see a run of corners here. Patrick Surtain may come off the board here pretty quick. Greg Newsome from Northwestern, I think, is
for sure a top 20 guy.
Yeah, he moves in a rare manner. He might move better than all of these guys. Horn going here doesn't surprise me. It's an interesting pick, but stylistically, it's more about him pressing and being super physical in coverage than what Surtain offers, which is a little more passive in coverage, but still a very good coverage.
Hey,
corner.
listen to all those people out there, and I'm not saying that taking a corner at 2 was right last year, even though I still think Akuta is going to be good.
3.
But guess what? Yeah, but guess what? There might be two cornerbacks taken in the top 10.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah, no.
There might be 2 taken this year in the top 10.
I mean, in pretty much every mock draft that I've looked at for the past month, it's just been bookended by Trevor Lawrence at 1, Surtain at 10.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like, that's it. Like, you could set those 2 in stone, then fill out the rest of your draft.
And I would tell you that Horn's grade and Patrick Surtain's grade is pretty similar, and maybe not, and maybe even in some ways right up there with where Akuta was last year. If you're looking for a physical press player, I think Horn's grade's a little higher than what Akuta was.
Fish, come over here, Fish. We haven't heard from Fish today.
Yeah,
Fish. Fish, are you happy?
Hold on. I'm going to get up, Fish. Take my seat for a second. Hop on in, buddy.
We get to chat with
How's it
Fish.
going?
What's up, Fish?
It's going good.
Having fun?
I'm having fun, yes.
Good.
Do you like that chant?
It's fine.
Yeah? There have only been 2 names chanted in here tonight. Sewell and Fish. You're in pretty good company.
I appreciate that. I hear that a lot.
You happy? You happy with Sewell?
Yeah, sure. It's a good pick.
You don't sound too convincing there.
Well,
what were you hoping for?
Talk to me, Fish. Talk to me.
I'm not a big draft guy.
Oh, okay.
So he's the best offensive lineman in the draft and maybe the best offensive lineman prospect in a long time. And you got him at 7. Did I sell you on him?
Yeah, he's a good player.
There you go.
I watched him in Oregon.
Yeah.
He looked good.
Yes.
We have
He's
a
an
couple of
exciting
special guests over with Joey right now.
Oh!
Why don't we throw it over to Joey and see who his
over
special
there?
guests are?
Fish, I want you to have the pleasure of introducing these 2 lovely individuals today. Who is it, Fish?
Fish, who is Joey standing with?
I'd love to know, too. Joey, introduce us.
It's Mama and Papa Fish, everybody! Hey, I just want to talk. So what's your name?
It's Mark and
Judy Fisher.
What does this mean, seeing your son, Samuel Fisher, also known as the infamous Fish, hosting an NFL draft party right now?
Well, it's unbelievable, and all I can say is his grandmother now refers to him as Fish.
That's great.
yeah, it's quite a dream. He's been wanting this for a long time, and it's so incredible for a dad to watch a son grow as he has in the last 6 months. And you guys have taken such good care of him. We are so pleased. It's incredible. We love it every day.
And we love Fish every day. And thank you, seriously. We got to thank both of you for blessing us with the
awesome.
Fish. Thank you. Go give him a big hug right now. Come on. Go give Fish a big hug. Give it up for Mama and Papa Fish, everybody.
Mr. and Mrs. Fish in the house. If you watch Woodward Sports, I mean, Fish is the man. I mean, there's no doubt about that. We all love
He's the best of all of us.
Absolutely.
He knows it.
Mom and Dad getting in some love in there. Maybe we can send Fish to New Zealand. That's what I want. I want to send Fish to New Zealand.
That would be incredible.
Yes.
Yes, it would.
It would be.
Are you a Lord of the Rings fan?
No.
Okay.
But I know it's from there.
You know, it's always a good night.
But that would be fun.
I did watch my first kind of movie Draft Day.
Oh yeah?
What did you think?
It's a good movie.
Yeah, it's a good
entertaining.
movie. It's a good movie. A little far-fetched, but...
A little bit.
Yeah, a little far-fetched.
Yeah.
You know what's a good night? My wife even texted me and goes, "You're really happy with this pick, aren't you?" Yes, I'm really, really happy with this pick. Fish, you've been there for a lot of our draft shows here on the Woodward Sports Network. I didn't think there was a snowball's chance in Hades that Sewell would be there at 7. So that's why I think so many people are excited about this.
Yeah, he's a good pick.
No doubt about it. Fish, what else is going on with you?
It's a foundation-setting pick. It is.
What? Just doing shows, making sure the shows run good.
You're doing a good job.
I appreciate that.
You are. And going to the aquarium is like it's the most fun part of all of it. When he says let's go to the aquarium, it makes me happy inside.
Yeah.
It just does. The pick is in. Let's go to the aquarium. The pick is in.
I love it. I love it.
Get ready, Fish.
All right.
Is it?
Mel Kiper, the legend. Well, we'll wait. We have to wait for the commissioner, obviously, to saunter up.
Adam is the commissioner.
So there are some rumors that Aaron Rodgers is going to end up in Denver. So that
Mark Schlereth has been saying that it's almost a done deal. For what it's worth, that's out there.
I've been hearing that all night from select people.
Yeah, for what it's worth, that's out there. Now, if you've been paying attention to the draft up to this point in time, what happens is they put up the sign, the pick is in, and then let me tell you something.
What's going on over there?
He takes his sweet time. Why don't we throw it over to Joey right now? Or Adam, how about you tell me when we can throw it to Joey? All right, you want to throw it to Joey? Let's throw it to Joey right now. Go ahead, Joey.
I mean... Wait, whoa. Do that again. What was that?
Oh, no.
I'm not going to talk no more. I'm going to let the booty speak. Y'all hear that? Y'all hear that? Ladies, could you introduce your name?
I'm Money. I'm Che.
Someone's about to make some money right now because the pick is in for the Denver Broncos. And who do you think they're going to pick?
You don't know.
There we go, Roger Goodell. Let's see what General
I think it's going to be Patrick Surtain.
Is it Surtain?
That guy does not. Oh, he does have a shirt on.
Well, I know a guy. If you follow the Woodward Sports Network, I know a guy, Scott Bischoff, that had Patrick Surtain and
J.C. Horn.
J.C. Horn going in the top 10.
Was it you?
It was me.
Solid job.
Yeah, thank you.
Bang up job.
Well, you know what? It's being a nerd and doing 50,000 mock drafts is what it comes down to.
We have reached Micah Parsons territory.
Yes. I think that's safe to say.
Yeah.
Boys, he's stylish, by the way. Look at that. The pink suit, no socks.
You know,
that's a good look.
Not everybody can pull that off.
I rock that look often.
Yeah.
I do. I rock that look.
Fish, I think you could pull that off.
Is that his Alabama championship ring he's got on?
Probably.
My guess.
Okay.
He's got a couple.
Yeah, my guess. Another guy, 6'1", 206 pounds. And Scott, as you were just talking about, a different kind of cornerback.
So see how he's off there?
Yes.
So he's got to flip his hips and run with them.
Look at that.
Okay.
Led him perfectly. Absolutely led him perfectly.
Perfect. He's big. He's 6'2" and 205 pounds. He ran 4.41. He is not super twitchy and real explosive like some of the other corners are. Like when you watch Greg Newsome move, he moves different.
Yes.
Where Patrick Surtain doesn't. J.C. Horn doesn't. They move great. But the ability to move, he's more smooth and fluid and a build-up speed type player, where a player like Newsome is just instantly, I'm going, right?
I love it. Well, you know what? We're going to have the full crew up here. I think, Scott, our time is almost up here, as a matter of fact. I'm going to have to check with the boss.
Yeah.
Stick, you and I had to be here for the pregame up to the Lions pick.
Yeah.
And then we were going to plan, I'll ask Stick. He has the whole... Stick, we're bringing other crew up here, right?
Yeah.
I think our time's almost up.
Yeah, we wanted to rotate through. We wanted to do the top 10 with us, and then we'll start rotating through. I believe Easy and Nick Leach are going to take your two guys' spot next. I'm going to kind of be the bridge, and then eventually I'll phase out of here, and we'll let...
when is this? Is this happening now?
No, we're going to wait till the Cowboys pick, right?
After the Cowboys pick.
So you think Micah Parsons could be the pick here?
I mean, that's what I said. The bookend is not there anymore. So what do they do? And Jerry Jones fell in love with Kyle Pitts, according to some rumors. So what is he going to do? He really, I don't really have any pulse on where they're going to go.
So in the offseason, the Dallas Cowboys have made it pretty clear that they need more playmaking in their secondary, and they wanted linebackers. They're not happy with their linebackers. And if you look at Jalen Smith, the Notre Dame linebacker who tore his knee up, and the story was just awful for him because he was such a good college player. Right. But he's just not the same.
Right.
Sean Lee retired. Leighton Vander Esch is okay, but, I mean, you're looking at it. You do need linebackers. Micah Parsons fits here, and it's the kind of style where you could... Look at that.
What did I tell you? Is that the Aaron Rodgers pose?
Look at the smolder.
He could fall a while.
But it also made me think, how confident are the Cowboys in Dak Prescott's ankle?
That was a horrific injury.
Exactly.
I mean,
it wasn't that long ago.
No.
So if you got a Mac Jones and a Justin Fields sitting there, are you thinking of toying with somebody that could sit behind Dak for a year or two just to kind of be a stopgap if the guy gets, injured again?
It'd be a very inexpensive way to address the position.
Because honestly, logically, that's where I think they should go.
But didn't they sign Dak to a
3-year deal, didn't they?
Yeah, so that's...
That's a 3-year deal, though. I mean, I'm sure that's not guaranteed money even after the first year.
It's just, it would make sense that you would take a quarterback if you valued him, but I don't think Dallas is. So Dallas is in that division where I'm sure they're thinking that they're going to beat the Eagles. They're going to run. Oh, we have a trade.
Uh-oh.
Is it possible?
Okay, trade alert.
Okay, so this might be New England coming up. This could be Washington coming up.
Cowboys trade to the Eagles. To the Eagles. Waddle.
Whoa.
This could be Greg Newsome territory.
Okay.
Waddle's gone. Devontae Smith.
Smith. Sorry.
So it could be Devontae Smith. It has been widely talked about that the Giants like Devontae Smith. So if you're jumping the Giants at pick 11 to come up to 10, it might be for Devontae Smith.
Well, and they added speed last year with Jalen Reagor, and then you put a Devontae Smith. You're going to blow the lid off of any defense that you're playing. Their safeties are going to have to play 40 yards back.
Do you know the particulars of this deal? I'm intrigued. I mean, an interdivision deal on draft day between two bitter rivals.
My guess is they probably gave up a third to move 2 spots, maybe a second.
You think so?
Nothing more than that, though.
Yeah.
It's just a couple spots.
So Dallas will be moving to 12, if I'm not mistaken, correct?
Right, and
maybe
12,
they get a third?
Maybe. And at 12, I mean, if you're taking Parsons at 10, you're getting him at 12.
I think that's a great move by Jerry Jones, and those are words that don't come out of my mouth very often.
So, I mean, I think it's either this is Greg Newsome territory. This is
that high, Scott? 10?
Yeah. Because Caleb Farley's got
I'll defer to you.
Caleb Farley's got the injury history. Newsome does too a little bit, but his ability to move is ridiculous. I think this is Devonta Smith more than anything.
Okay.
To jump in front of the Giants.
Yeah, it has to be, right? You want to give Jalen Hurts, even though they haven't committed to him yet.
It's just they drafted Jalen Reagor last year, speed, vertical threat.
Right.
Devonta Smith is more, I'm uncovering immediately.
Yes.
So if you want to make your quarterback comfortable, Devontae Smith is a good way to go about it.
And if you have a poor offensive line, Devontae Smith is a guy you want on your team because, like you said, he's got that wiggle real quick. Yep. He's going to get those slant passes. He's going to be able to catch the underneath ball.
Ball coming out in a hurry.
Yeah, because he's got that good breakaway speed. But do you have concerns with him being only 166 pounds?
Yeah, I think he's – so looking at him, he looks – I've said this a bunch. He looks like a high school point guard. He's super skinny, and the problem is that his frame isn't the kind of frame where you can add weight. He's got thin hips,
right?
You know what I mean? Thin shoulders. You're not putting on 15, 20 pounds. And I'll tell you, He measured at 166, but he did everything he could possibly do to get there.
To put on weight.
He played in the 150s. He did. So he is a bit of an anomaly. There's no other way to describe it.
Right.
However, when you watch him play, he doesn't play small. He plays a physical game. He dealt with press coverage in the SEC. He was fine. I mean, he was more than fine. He was a very productive receiver at the college level.
I can't believe Louis Riddick is up on the stage. I thought for sure he'd be a general manager by now.
Thank God he's not our general manager. I did not want that show pony.
Can you do you sense my sarcasm there?
Yes, I did.
Do. Look at Micah Parsons. He does not look happy.
Scott, I know that you sense my
Adam's reporting that
sarcasm.
Louis Riddick was saying the Lions should have taken Devontae Smith.
Okay, he can think whatever he wants.
Thank God you're not our GM, you dumb fuck.
There are receivers. There are going to be stud receivers in round 2 and next year in round 1.
But I keep telling people, go look. Do a little research and look at some of the receivers that are going to be on the table.
There's no Jalen Waddle or Jamar Chase anymore in this draft, but there will be next year.
Well, and Scott, this is what I always tell people. Keep it in your mind.
There's your third round.
Hey, nice to meet you guys, man.
Thanks for coming up, boys. Absolutely. Nice to meet you guys.
Okay.
Absolutely. Love it. Amen to that. Amen to that.
So Philly started with the 6th overall pick, traded down to 12 via the Dolphins, and traded up to 10 via the Cowboys to get this pick.
It's got to be Devonta Smith.
It has to be.
It's got to be.
It has to be.
Yeah, it's got to be. It's got to be.
It's just got to be. But
well, and you know, Scott, how many times did we talk about this?
I am shocked you sat this long.
I hate
you
chairs.
know who it could be?
I hate chairs. I don't know if you know that.
The next pick could be Rashawn Slater. If you're the Giants, they just took Andrew Thomas last year, left tackle.
Could you imagine that? Oh, perfect.
That.
Yeah.
I mean, you're getting a healthy Saquon back next year. You got to worry about Danny Dimes.
You
that's
sure
your biggest
do.
issue.
Got to make him work.
You sure do.
His baby hands and his turnovers.
I don't see it with the guy. I do not see it with the guy.
Hands.
Fumble City.
Yeah. He is a walking turnover. That's for sure.
So, I mean, back to Devonta Smith. He was an incredibly productive college receiver. Are you comfortable with the small stature? You're going to have to get comfortable with it. He's not going to get much bigger, but from a route runner standpoint, the nuance, the ability for him to get open, the way he does it, and then to be physical, fall forward, to play he plays bigger than his size. He's fine here. I mean, I think it's everything you mentioned earlier about making Jalen Hurts comfortable and work for them.
Right.
That's the best possible scenario for him.
Here he is sauntering ever so slowly to the stage to let everybody know.
I thought he had the barrel ass going earlier, but I don't see it anymore.
No, you know what? Scott, I agree.
What
Maybe
happened?
it was just the angle they shot him, because we were watching it early and we were like, Generalissimo's put on some pounds, and maybe we were wrong about that.
Well, my friends told me they looked like they put on 40 for me. It was hurtful.
Yeah,
they said terrible mean things.
It does hurt. Here we go.
There it is.
There you go.
Yeah,
Devontae Smith. Yeah,
there you go.
Makes sense.
And actually a smart move by the Cowboys too.
Yeah.
Like, you didn't know what the hell you were going to do. These guys wanted your top 10 pick. Go get it.
A third-round pick. There is still incredible value to be had at the third round.
So it's
you
like
don't
pick
throw
75.
Away, you don't throw away a third-round pick. Not at all.
Whew, look at this. Look at that. Just elusive.
So, I mean, I would encourage somebody to find the film of here where it looks like he plays small.
Yeah, but once again, he is in college. Like, I was going back through the stats, and there hasn't been a wide receiver under 175 pounds to ever make a Pro Bowl.
That's the anomaly part of it. Is like he's such an outlier. Do you trust it?
But what's really weird is how high he was after the national championship game. If the draft would have been the day after the national championship game, first wide receiver off the board, essentially.
Incredible.
No.
You don't think so?
No, because
Scott, somebody hype.
Teams have him where they have him, period. Jamar Chase's season in 2019 was better in some ways than what Devonta Smith's was.
Okay.
But he's just so much more physical than Smith is. But Smith is a great route runner, and he's a phenomenal player.
Right.
It's hard to argue and deny what he is as a player.
Numbers are numbers, right? Like, sometimes you got to ignore all that other shit and look at the film. On the field, the guy plays well.
He's a baller.
Yes.
He is just a baller. Let him go.
Well, guys, that wraps up the top 10, man. I can't thank both of you enough for doing this.
This was fun.
It was our first inaugural Woodward
Let's
Sports.
do it again.
Yeah, thank you guys for coming down here. And we're gonna check in with Joey coming up in a little bit. He's got the Maker's Mark girl. Leave it to Joey.
Joey
to find
has all the fun.
Yeah, leave it to Joey.
I am sorry. I don't mind this life. But we want to welcome you. Thanks so much for watching the Woodward Sports Network right now. The NFL draft still going on, but we're here at Delmar, Detroit, and we couldn't thank you guys enough. This is Evangela with Maker's Mark. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I am awesome, and we just want to thank you seriously for making this entire event possible because we love our Maker's Mark, and thank you again. So what are we serving out there tonight?
So we have our Maker's Mule, and then we have our Maker's with lemonade. The Mule is with lime and ginger ale. So those are two of our highlight drinks. All drinks tonight are $6, so our consumers are enjoying those out there, of course. But the ginger ale and the lemonade are two of the most popular. So we're proud to
can she bring us?
those.
Can we get two?
Can we get two of them over here, please?
Sure, of course.
Thank you again, Evangela, just Maker's Mark. We appreciate you guys. Woodward Sports Network, thanks.
Oh, man, checking in from the VIP lounge here at Delmar in Greektown. And we're bringing on some new hosts for the next 10 picks. Guys, holy shit. Let me first introduce you. We got Speakeasy from the Speakeasy Podcast. Nick Leach voted sexiest golfer alive 2021, reigning champion in that. Let's get in. Yeah. Sean Baligian.
You bring in the new generation. This is the new generation.
Yeah, that's right. And that's what, honestly, we were talking about this earlier about what Woodward Sports is all about. And yes, it's about us having established people like Sean Baligian and, you know, the people that have been in this market, Tom Mazaway. But it's really about cultivating the young talent in the city and bringing us all together. Because at the end of the day, sports should unite us. And I feel like, you know, sometimes, that YouTube follower, that guy has got 5,000, I only got 3,000. Fuck that guy. It's like, no. We're boys here. We're all going to help each other grow, and that's what's really going to make us successful over any other network. So, guys, what do you think of the Lions pick? Bears trading up.
Breaking news.
Oh, man. That's Fields.
Wow.
That's Fields.
Fields or Mac Jones?
Fields.
Fields?
I think Fields is their guy, no doubt about it.
Who would you guys rather see 2 times a year?
I'd rather see Mac Jones.
Yeah, me too. Let's
no
hope
doubt
it's this
about
guy.
it.
Especially Mac Jones playing in cold weather.
Yes.
But, like, Fields at least has some history of doing that with
That's a great
Ohio
point.
State. Mac Jones, you know, he's slow, and you put that motherfucker in snow, a little bit slower.
Yeah.
So I would love it.
Well, we'll see how good Mac Jones is too without Jalen Waddle on the outside and Devonta Smith. So I feel like Easy could be a star quarterback for Alabama if that was the case.
Honestly, yeah. What's with the empty couch there? What's going on?
I don't know. Is that the casting couch for the Chicago Bears quarterback position?
Here we go.
Justin Fields is back. There it is. That's got to give it away right there.
That's a dead giveaway of what this. Hey, Justin, get to your couch real quick.
That is a dead giveaway.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm kind of nervous to see this guy twice a year. Not gonna lie.
I think this guy was getting disrespected by a lot of people leading up to this draft. I mean, his skill set, the way he holds himself on and off the field, he's gonna be a big player, I think, in this NFC North division.
So where did you guys have him ranked in the 4 or 5 quarterbacks that are going high? Where did you have him ranked in that pack?
I had him last or second to last, to be honest with you.
Oh, no kidding.
With a guy like him, and even Mac Jones, the schools that they're at, you're facing NFL talent, and they're surrounded by NFL talent. So I feel like they kind of peak where they're at, you know? So I don't think we're going to see much growth from him from what he was in college.
I had Justin Fields number 2. I think
over Zach?
Over Zach. Wow. I think he's the real deal. I mean, he's got the build. His arm strength and his precision, I like it a lot more over Zach. But I hate that he's actually probably going to be coming to this division.
Yeah, it does suck.
The pick is in, boys. The pick is in. Oh, man. So, I mean, let's go through the NFC North quarterbacks right now. Obviously, we have Jared Goff. It looks like Aaron Rodgers will be out of Green Bay sooner rather than later.
What a perfect draft holiday for a Lions fan.
You got Kirk Cousins. I ain't worried about no Kirk Cousins.
Yeah.
And then the Bears. I mean, they bring in the Red Rocket, which... Okay, awesome. Thank you.
Yeah.
You know, thank God they didn't draft Mahomes or, Watson to a lesser extent now.
Yeah.
Watson a year ago, I would have been mad, but
And if you think about it, too, I mean, granted, we're still waiting for this pick to come in, but if it is Justin Fields, him and Andy Dalton are kind of built very similar. Both 6'4", 6'5", big guys. So
Fields
I mean,
a bit more mobile, though.
Yeah, absolutely.
A bit? A bit?
A lot.
A bit?
I was trying to sound cool on air, you know.
I mean, it's no
Fields.
knocking his skills that Andy Dalton was never a long-term fix.
All right, the pick is in. Here we go. Roger Goodell. Talking about the trade.
I'm kind of curious what the details of the trade are.
Yeah. Oh, shut up and give us the pick, Goodell. Nobody gives a shit about this stuff.
Do you think it was crazy the Eagles only gave up a third to move up?
Well, I think it was, 2 spots?
Yeah, it was 2 spots.
Yeah, so I they wanted to get their guy.
Come on, Goodell.
Nobody cares what you got to say, Goodell. We want the
Spit
pick.
it out.
We want the
Drop
pick.
it on us, man.
Oh, God.
Oh, my
All right, I'm
God.
going to hit the chime again just because I want to hear that. Now Goodell speaking. Watch, and this guy's like a military vet, and we're just like, fuck
Yeah.
this kid. That's no.
We got to
no,
retract that statement.
Yeah,
already.
if this guy is what I think he is, never mind. Give this guy all of his due, and thank you every vet and every person that's ever served this country and given us the freedom to hop on this internet that we're allowed to use and just talk shit. Like, not in too many countries allow you to do this.
Disclaimer alert, we have noise-canceling headphones, so we can't hear exactly what they're saying.
Yes.
Yeah, that's why we're rushing it a little bit.
Yeah.
Well, I said the pick is in, but they're letting him announce the pick.
Kind of looks like a
11
future
pick.
me.
This is very important right here.
Justin
There it is, baby.
Fields.
We called it, baby.
Oh, boy.
Well, I mean,
Oh, Joey.
Did
Joey
make that bet with Adam about Fields falling out
Top
of the top
10.
10?
He got in the top 10. Oh,
No,
11.
number 11.
Oh, Joey.
He's just outside.
Well, let's look at Fields here while he's playing. I mean, he sees the field. A lot of people were knocking him for only having a 1 read and then, just getting rid of the ball. But look at a pump fake there. He's obviously on his first read. He's moving off. He's second read, third read right there.
I mean, he can roll out to his
Wow,
left,
that was
plant his
nice.
feet, and throw it, just like the best quarterbacks. Like that's what Patrick Mahomes has made a career so far out of in the last 3 seasons.
Yeah. So, Joey, what do you think, man? Justin Fields has been your boy. Now he's a division rival. You got to hate this motherfucker.
So I got double screwed. I owe Adam $100 because I made a bet that he'll go top 10. But even on top of that, he's going to the Bears.
So now we just got to hope they suck. Where's Sean Baligian? Sean Baligian. Sean Baligian, will
Get
you
back in
please?
there, Shawnee.
How do you feel about the Bears?
Fuck the Bears.
Yeah, there
Fuck
it is.
the Bears.
There it is. There it is. There it is.
that chant up.
Fuck the Bears.
Fuck the Bears.
Fuck the Bears! Fuck the Bears! Fuck the Bears! Fuck the Bears!
I don't want to yell too much in the microphone on how it does on the
that's all right.
receiving side.
Fish's parents are like, oh my God.
We let our son hang out with these guys all day.
But okay, he's a division rival now, and I
So
hate him.
Man.
I made a statement, I think, earlier today that I was actually kind of pulling for Justin Fields to be a good NFL player just because of the criticism that he faced leading up to this draft.
Yeah.
I retract all of that. I hope he doesn't live up to what I think he has the potential to.
I am actually nervous watching these highlights. I don't like what I see.
You know what? It is what it is. Justin Fields is the prospect he is, but the reason he dropped to the 4th quarterback off the board is there's question marks about him. So as much as we're kind of high on him, you can point to that the NFL's not high on him. Like the San Francisco 49ers feel that Trey Lance is going to be a better quarterback.
Yeah, but you got to think, though, too, the Bears think highly of him if they're coming all the way up from 20 to get him. Obviously, we didn't hear exactly what they just gave away to get up there, but
Remember
9
the
spots
last time,
is pretty big.
Remember the last time the Bears traded up to get a guy?
I was going to say, do we trust their quarterback observations?
God, you're the best. Can I get a hug? Thank you. Maker's Mark is in the building.
I love Maker's Mark.
Shout out to Maker's Mark for sponsoring this.
Yeah, Easy's not 21 yet, but once you turn 21.
Shocker,
just
shocker, I'm 28,
balding
so.
20-year-old. That's me.
No, but honestly, the last time the Bears traded up and used a lot of capital to get there, they chose Mitch Trubisky over Patrick Mahomes and Deshaun Watson. So the Bears, just like the Bengals are going to bangle, the Bears are going to bear.
Are we surprised?
Quarterback for sure.
Are we surprised to see Mac Jones fall this far?
Because initially no one thought that he was going to be in that discussion. So it's like no, but due to the hype leading up, yes.
Well, because you had Trey Lance, you're supposed to be Justin Fields and Trey Lance, right? As the 4 and 5 guys, Trey Lance was probably going to be picked outside, if not maybe number 9 with Denver. But looking at, I think finally what people were coming to the realization that Mac Jones had the two of the best receivers in college football.
Absolutely.
I mean, you put Justin Fields with Smith or Jalen Waddle, he's going to succeed.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%. That's what I was kind of saying the same thing to Justin Fields a little bit. Is like these guys are surrounded by NFL talents. It's kind of hard to judge them where they're going to be in the league, or just, I think they just are what they are sometimes too.
Right. Easy. Do me a favor and slide like to your just like lean out a bit. There's some cheetah print behind you that I want you to see.
I know.
Easy gonna fall off just to show us this cheetah print.
Boy.
That's what you gotta love about being in Detroit live. You love this stuff. All right, the Cowboys pick is in. So this was interesting. The Cowboys traded back, and when Scott Bischoff was up here, Cowboys had the number 10 pick. Surtain went and J.C. Horn.
Yeah.
They kind of left not knowing what to do with that pick because they were trying to target a cornerback there. I thought if they were to stay with that pick, they may go quarterback because you don't know what Dak is going to be in the future, and you only signed him to a 3-year deal. I'm sure the third year isn't guaranteed money.
Yeah.
So why not draft Justin Fields or a Mac Jones?
Well, I think he's got 4 years, if I'm not mistaken.
Was it a 4 year? I thought it was a 3.
But the amount of money that they're paying to keep him there, I just don't see how you could. It wouldn't make sense for them to bring a quarterback. Not in the first. But
okay.
I mean, you could definitely do. I mean, Kyle Trask could be there in the second round. That could be an option for
Kellen Mond.
Yeah, I mean, there's endless possibilities.
Because the Cowboys take a lot of risk on troublemakers. I think this could be Micah Parsons.
This could very well end up on the defensive side of the ball.
That whole Micah Parsons bullshit, like, it's all from hazing when he was a freshman. Like, come on.
Do you hear the details, though?
No, I haven't, but it's hazing.
Is a broomstick involved? That helps.
Okay, what do you do? Stick it in someone's ass?
It's kind of weird, right? Like,
I mean, listen, it's weird.
I don't condone it. Here's the thing,
it.
too, though. From Penn State. Like, get some self-awareness to, like, not do that in Penn State.
Of all
Jerry
places.
Sandusky like, what are you doing, bro?
Hey, you know what?
I guess you could say,
there's got to be some self-awareness, you know. I mean,
you got to be careful with that.
I already said broomstick. I feel like that's enough visualization.
Yeah, we don't need any more than that.
But honestly, like, it was his freshman year. I mean, like, dumb shit happens. Like, you hear local high schools doing dumb shit. They're like, I don't want to name any of them, but you knew what I was talking about. But those were just dumb kids being dumb kids. And eventually you hope they grow up and nobody gets injured during those things. But hazing is, I'm not going to say it's nothing, but it's also not always something.
That to that extreme, though, to me is like, ugh.
Yeah, you never had a broom in your house?
Don't be surprised if they go offensive line here. I wouldn't be surprised to see the Cowboys shore up that offensive line for Dak and Zeke. I think if somehow Kyle Pitts would have fallen, they would have tried to trade it up instead of trading back, no doubt about it, especially after what Jerry said down there in Jerry's world. So,
did Devontae Smith go earlier than you guys expected?
Yes.
Yeah, me too.
Yes.
I thought so too.
We were talking, and as soon as the Eagles traded up, that was the pick. I mean, they have Jalen Reagor. Now you got Devontae Smith. And really, he's going to be kind of a safety net, for quarterback Hurts.
Yeah.
Because he's got that quick wiggle, can get away. They don't have a great offensive line. They'll be all right.
Yeah, they've never really. Oh, here it goes.
Here we go. The selection. I bet you it's Slater. I bet pretty good money.
You think so?
Yeah.
I mean,
he's going Slater or Parsons.
He's offense. I mean, he's NFL ready. There's no doubt about it.
Well, and Dallas loves their big offensive linemen.
Yeah, I mean, too, if you can get a guy.
There's actually a former offensive lineman announcing the pick, it looks like.
I mean, if you can get a guy
She's a nice lady.
If you could get a guy that at 12 that's NFL ready, I mean, you have to. It's kind of the position the Lions were. You're taking best available regardless of the position.
Micah Parsons.
There you go. There you call it.
Micah Parsons. Wow. Wow.
I just feel like I got the pick right. It's just no, I'm kidding.
So there you go. I mean, the Cowboys don't mind drama. They don't mind problems.
That's what I'm saying. They take the bad boys. Like right now they have, which I think he's still a free agent, but they took the flyer on Alden Smith, Greg Hardy. You know what I'm saying? All these guys who've been had some issues in the past, the Cowboys have never been ashamed to take a flyer on them.
No, that's Jerry probably stepping down, Jerry Jones stepping down and trying to mentor these guys and trying to help them get their act together. I mean,
really?
That's.
I don't know, mentoring. I the talent though. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, he's. I guess that's probably the better way to put it. He's willing to overlook it.
I'm surprised Antonio Brown never ended up a Cowboy.
Right.
Well, his boyfriend Tom Brady was over there in Tampa. They knew damn well he was going to TB.
Tom Brady could be my boyfriend anytime. Come get us a Super Bowl here in Detroit, Tom. We would love that.
Yeah, he's rich enough to be my boyfriend.
No, but
I'd say.
honestly, you've heard me say this. Like, I don't give a shit, like, these guys' characters. I want beasts. I want angry players.
Yeah, I'm the same
and
boat.
That's
As long
why
as
I'm
they're
like,
coachable.
a hazing charge when you were a freshman? All right, fuck it. Let's go. Let's get him. You know, if he's a bad player, then I don't want him.
Yeah.
But if he's a good player and that's the only thing you can knock him on, like,
but
who cares?
there's some guys that are so much so a jackass it keeps him off the field. Like Alden Smith,
Titus
for
Young.
example. Titus Young, yeah. And Titus Young, I think, is more mental issues, but Alden Smith, a beast on the field.
I mean, this
but
is
being
gonna
such a jackass off.
Well, I mean, Parsons is going to be an absolute animal. And granted, I know they talked about his character issues and whatnot. And like you said, it's from freshman year. You grow a lot in 3-4 years. So
that's a good point.
Were you the same person you are now than you were 17, 18, 19? No.
And if he didn't opt out this season too and played a full season at Penn State, there's no doubt in my mind that he would have easily been in the top 10. He probably would have been forward in the top 5.
This is Adams' guy, Micah Parsons.
Honestly, in my first mock draft, I think that's who I had the Lions taking. But let's talk about who the Lions actually took. And, are you guys just as excited as the rest of the... Have you ever seen a room get excited for an offensive lineman?
Never.
No. I mean, this is... The best thing about Holmes and Campbell coming in here is they've been very transparent about what they're trying to do here, right?
Yeah.
They're going to build it. It's a 2-3 year process at least before you become competitive. And the best way you do that is shoring up the offensive and defensive line. So you have to win that line at the line of scrimmage. You have to be able to get guys that are going to be physical. Look, you got Jamal Williams and DeAndre Swift in your backfield now. So those guys are going to lead this offense the next couple years, as we don't really have a sure-handed guy on the outside catching the ball with Jared Goff. But I'm glad they did not go QB at 7. You got to give Jared Goff a chance, and if you take a QB at 7, then that would have killed all his confidence. So, I mean, and in all fairness to him, too, people didn't know who Robert Woods was or Cooper Kupp.
Right.
I mean, he made those guys into good players, and I get the stats aren't always the best in the world, but it's not like Tom Brady consistently led the NFL in stats like Matthew Stafford or Drew Brees did. So I think it's all about getting the right culture here, and I think Holmes and Campbell are definitely off to the right foot.
I think it's a big footprint or invitation of the culture because, I mean, our offensive coordinator, former running back in Anthony Lynn.
Yeah.
And obviously they established, this is what we want to do. We want to come out, we want to punch you in the mouth. We want to run the ball and do whatever we want, take control of the line of scrimmage. I 100% agree. I do think, though, drafting that quarterback just opens up so much for you. But I'm not going to say I'm unhappy with Penei Sewell. Like, the dude's a beast. Dude.
Yeah. No,
it's a monster.
It's amazing to have Penei Sewell.
And then you have Taylor Decker on the other side of him.
And
like
Ragnow.
Oh, man.
Like, this is honestly the best offensive line the Lions have had since 1991 when they actually won a playoff game.
Yeah,
I know you weren't alive for it, but it happened. I swear to God.
Yeah. Are you confident in the running back that we have?
Yes.
No doubt about it.
For the first time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, DeAndre Swift could have been the first back. Like, if DeAndre Swift would have went where CEH went last year, he would have been the number one, everybody pick him number one in fantasy, runaway guy.
I am curious to see if there was a redraft, if he'd probably be the first back off the board, no?
I would assume so.
Yeah.
I mean, Cam Akers.
Edwards Hilaire, Edwards Hilaire had a great season in Kansas City.
That's Kansas City, though.
No, he did not have a great season. He had a great
like
first
Mac Jones
game.
being good in Alabama. Just so much around you for you to, look better than you are.
I mean, I believe he got hurt halfway through the season, but I'm pretty sure his stats were, at least for the first 7 or 8 games, were pretty solid.
You got Stick pulling him up.
Yeah, let's look at him. He had 800 yards last year, 4.4 yards a carry, 4 touchdowns, 36 receptions, 300 yards and a touchdown.
Yeah, so I mean, that was 800 yards.
What about our boy Swift?
Yeah, that's
10
what I'm looking
games
up
or
right
so.
now.
Yeah, I'm curious. Because the other thing too, like again, you got Edwards Hilaire working with a lot more.
Yeah, I mean, he's.
You got Sammy Watkins, Tyreek Hill, Nico Coleman
Swift
open up
only
the
had
field for you.
521, 4.6 yards, 8 touchdowns. I love that. 46 receptions. That's great.
But
Almost 50 receptions.
Yeah, but we got to remember, to start the season, it was the AP show.
Yes.
He was getting maybe 10 carries a game, so you can't forget that. I mean, he definitely came on later in the season. I think all of us can look past what happened in Game 1 of last year when he dropped that pass, but he's electric. There's no doubt. We haven't seen anybody like that here in a long time.
The Chargers pick is in. We're going to wait for them to take the stage. But, I'm with you guys. I love DeAndre Swift. I think he's great. I mean, Jamal Williams, whether that guy's a good running back or not, I am happy he's in Detroit.
He is awesome.
He's got personality. Yeah, he's got personality. But he was great out of the backfield for Green Bay.
There were times where Jones was missing, and the Green Bay didn't really skip a beat.
Yeah.
He filled in very nicely.
Yeah, I mean, you got to love that 1-2 punch now. You for sure got it mapped out. Swift's one, he's 2. So you know who to look for. Like in a 3rd and long situation, you could either go Jamal Williams or DeAndre Swift.
Where does Kerryon fall in all this?
Keryon's your
good backup.
He's a solid 3rd, and he loves his role.
Guy, right?
Well, his pass blocking is unbelievable. And he loves that role. He loves trying to lay defensive ends out or linebackers that are trying to come up the gut.
Yeah.
And kudos to him because he's taken it in stride the less reps in the backfield. And I've loved to see what happened with him last year.
With the emergence of Swift, too, I feel like this may sound shitty to say, but I feel like he may have also become cheaper to re-sign, too. Because he's coming up, at the end of his 3 to 4 year deal, whatever he signed.
I could see him trying to go move somewhere, though, where he's looking to be number 2 again, much like Jamal Williams is doing. I don't know if anyone is willing to go out and get him, but I'm sure there'll be a team out there.
Yeah.
Penny Sewell is going to talk to the Detroit media coming up at 10 o'clock, and our very own Corey Woods is going to be live tweeting it at Woodward Sports.
Yes,
so make sure you hop on over to our Twitter if you're watching right now. Not on Twitter if you're watching on YouTube or you're watching on Facebook. Go to Twitter because you'll get live updates from Corey Woods. He's going to be in those press conferences. And I love that we have Corey on staff because none of us are official.
I do. I texted that to the group. I'm like, dude, I'm so happy you're part of the team. Like, it's wild.
So the Chargers are on the clock here. To me,
they got options.
Slater.
Yeah.
You think so?
Protect Herbert, man. He's a stud.
Yeah,
He's a stud. Keep him up.
They got lucky last year with Herbert falling in their lap. I mean, before the draft last year, everybody was talking about how he couldn't make the big play, couldn't make the big throw. He was inconsistent at times. He had a good year. He had a bad year. And then you look at it and you're like, man, you would take him a million times of a million over Tua at this point.
Well, yeah, and he wasn't a guy that was really talked about like Tua was leading up to that draft, right?
Not at all. It's crazy.
And so I look at a guy like Trey Lance, who just got taken number 3 by San Francisco, a guy that was it was talking about Justin Fields. You were talking about, obviously, Trevor Lawrence. I wouldn't expect what he's going to do, but Trey Lance was kind of overlooked, so don't be surprised if Trey Lance can kind of be the Justin Herbert of this year's draft.
Well, not only that, though, his head coach, Kyle Shanahan, one of the best offensive minds in football. Like, no matter who he's had at the quarterback position, he's made them look great.
Yeah,
Jimmy
absolutely.
Garoppolo, Matt Ryan. Matt Ryan won an MVP with him. You know what I'm saying?
I was actually surprised to see Trey. Like I said, I expected Trey Lance to be kind of the number 5 guy out of leading up to this draft. So it's going to be cool to kind of watch him in that West Coast offense.
Yeah.
There's Rashawn Slater right there, opted out of the 2020 season, but he's the number 1 option on Mel's big board right now.
Yeah,
isn't it crazy to see how many guys in the top 13 now that opted out of last year and are still going this high?
Blows my mind. Even Penei Sewell.
Right.
I was kind of nervous because he didn't play last year, but
this is probably the hardest year for any NFL scout to come up with, because they didn't even have the underwear Olympics together. Like they had to do all the combines or all those pro days at where specific players were going to college or whatever. You're watching it on film. You're not watching it in real life. And to me, that there's such a difference between watching somebody run on film and then watching them whiz past you. You feel oh my God, that guy's fast. Yeah. Or Rashawn Slater, they showed a video of him running his 40. And it's like, Jesus, that is a big man.
Yeah.
Can you imagine seeing it in real life, that monster running?
I know.
Well, what? Our own Joey ran a 5'7", and he's half the size of him?
That's why I was such a fan of trading back in this draft to hopefully pick up more capital in these drafts where we have the underwear Olympics, a little bit more film on these guys to make a proper judgment. But Penei Sewell, I feel like
here we go.
Get too wrong with that one. This one's Slater. I'm calling it all day.
There it is.
Yeah.
Slater. Yeah. Good call, Easy.
2 for 2.
That's a good pick for them, man.
We get both these drinks now?
That's a good pick for them. Honestly, you got to protect Herbert.
You got it, man.
And that's why the Bengals, they're not going to protect Joe Burrow.
And it's the LSU connection, though.
Yeah,
I understand that a little bit.
And I think that's Burrow kind of in the GM's and the coach's ear, too.
Exactly. You can't be too upset if it's him kind of, having his influence on that pick, which I'm sure
till Joe Burrow busts out his other fucking knee, and then you'll be like, Jamar Chase could have gotten a block. Like,
well, here's the thing, though.
They have T. Higgins, they have Tyler Boyd, they have Joe Mixon. They didn't need more weapons. They needed to protect the guy that went number 1 overall last year. And that's why the Chargers are smarter.
Yeah, and I couldn't agree more with you.
That's a fair point.
The smart pick, no doubt about it, was taking Sewell at number 5, but hey, Glad you did it. Thank you very much.
I was saying it before the draft. The Bengals going to bangle, man.
Yeah.
And and that's exactly kind of what happened with the Bears. The Bears going to bear.
Well, that number 4 pick was crucial. If Atlanta goes, regardless, I think what happened. That Atlanta went pass catcher. So you felt that the Bengals were going to go pass catcher with Jamar Chase, and sure enough, that's what they did.
Right. I'm so shocked though there weren't more trades within the top 10. Like those asking prices must have been phenomenal.
I absolutely don't think. I think guys were falling to the teams that like with the Lions. I think if Sewell was there, they were going to take him, and if he wasn't, that somehow they were going to try to get out of that spot. And I think that happened with a lot of the teams.
I think the other thing too is the quarterbacks weren't as desired as we initially thought heading into the draft.
Well, and
Mac Jones still on the board.
Yeah, but at the same time too, those teams that wanted quarterbacks had their options. So, and I think if you're a team like the Patriots sitting there at 15, you could have Mac Jones coming to you. I would assume that's where he's going to go. But
the Patriots right now are sitting like Bill Belichick's got to be so happy.
That's the most Bill Belichick quarterback prospect
unathletic. When they talk about Mac Jones, unathletic,
right?
Yeah.
Not the best build out of any of these quarterbacks. And
where have we seen that before with a Patriots quarterback?
That guy that's in Tampa Bay was unathletic.
Oh yeah, he was not
very sharp.
He was a
Tom something.
Yeah, Tom Brady.
Yeah,
it was Tom Brady.
Right.
Too bad nobody remembers 6th-round picks.
Yeah.
But yeah, where is Minnesota going to go? Minnesota's on the clock right now. They're in our division. They don't need a quarterback. They clearly don't need a running back. They cashed in on Justin Jefferson last year.
That's a great question.
Where was Minnesota? Do you think Kwity Paye?
No, I think that's a little too high for him. I think possibly you look defense somewhere or Elijah Vera Tucker out of USC, the offensive lineman out of there.
Who's the rusher out of Miami? Phillips, I think. Phillips.
I think that's correct. But
maybe him.
My guess is that they're going to try to go defense. There's not a lot of offensive.
Trade alert.
I was going to call this, but I didn't want to look like an idiot. I swear to God.
Hey, man. The Jets. The Jets just traded up in the draft. Holy shit. The Jets are now picking 14th overall. They are now on the clock. Obviously, they took Zack Wilson with the number 2 overall pick.
Who this could be.
Is this a situation where you try to get Zack Wilson more weapons? They took Denzel Mims last year. Do you try to pack on to that? Do you go defensive side of the ball? What do you do if you're what's Robert Saleh thinking?
I'm thinking defense because it's Robert Saleh, but I just don't know who's there worthy of giving up some draft capital to get there to grab. Who's on the board?
You just took Zack Wilson, right?
Mm-hmm.
What's the best thing you possibly do? Either one, you get him a pass catcher.
Yeah.
Or two, again, you get him an offensive lineman that can protect him a little bit.
What's that? Kershaw? Yeah. That could be an option.
Was he worth trading up for? I feel like he could have caught him at the very bottom of the first, no?
Yeah,
No?
Well, we're going to find out, man. I love the NFL draft, man. It is always such a bizarre experience because you never know who's going to draft who.
I like the Kwity Paye pick. I just think he's too high here at what? We're at 14 now?
Yeah.
I think I think he's more of a round 20th type pick, but
he fell off big time.
Caleb Farley's available if they wanted to get a kind of a shutdown corner. A lot of people liked him out of Virginia Tech. He rated pretty well.
How about Horn over Surtain? How crazy was that?
Then you got Christian Darrisaw.
That was wild to me.
What's that?
Horn over Surtain?
Well, I liked that pick. I really did. You know, at first I was all bought in on Surtain, but then I did some research, and Horn and his one-on-one matchups against elite wide receivers over the past 2 seasons, he shut Jerry Jeudy down.
Really?
He shut Kyle Pitts down.
That's a good point, because I remember watching Kyle Pitts tape, and he was working Surtain.
Yep.
Well, and the only reason that Horn wasn't as high is because I think he only had 1 interception this last season, and guys expected him to have more than that, especially with how locked down he was. But hey, if you're locking guys down, the Kiwi's not looking your way.
I was just gonna say that's like the Nnamdi Asomugha. You know what I'm saying? That 1 year was one of the best corners in the league, but no one was throwing his way. The stats weren't there because no one locked down, scared to throw his way.
So I didn't expect the Jets to come back up this quickly. I expected them to come back in maybe at the later in the second round or at the end of the first round. Excuse me, but obviously they got their eye on somebody that. I would imagine that they're going to have to try to go with some type of pass catcher.
Did we ever get any details on what the Bears gave up?
You know what? Let me check that. Who'd they trade with again? They traded with the Cowboys?
Yes.
Cowboys draft.
Every time I hear Cowboys, I think of the Kid Rock, the beginning of with the song Cowboy. Cowboy.
Who do you guys like as top receiver? Jamar Chase, obviously, or
yeah, Chase was my like 1A.
Chase or Waddle, because Chase is more talented, but I feel like Waddle's like he's just so fast. He's gonna get open in the right situations, you know.
Yeah, and I mean he's not afraid to play with a broken ankle. I mean you gotta appreciate a heart from a guy like that.
Oh my God. You're going to love this.
Oh, man.
The Giants received the Bears' 20th pick, the 2021 fifth-round pick, 2022 first-round pick, and 2022 fourth-round pick.
Wow.
They gave up the fucking farm, bro.
The Bears gonna Bears, baby. Bears gonna Bears.
Yeah, Bears.
Let's go.
Love it.
Oh, man.
That's what I'm saying. 9 spots.
I'm happy to hear that.
A first-round pick, dude.
Yeah.
In 2022, yeah.
That's 9 spots. That's a lot of draft capital. I mean, that 9 spots is huge. That's why I had a feeling there was going to be something big like that.
They could have gave the Cowboys a third.
But I mean,
they got him earlier. Holy shit, that's crazy.
Thank you, Bears. We love you, Bears.
Wow. Look at the difference of those two teams, though. You look at the New York Giants, who still need to add some pieces before they're truly competitive.
Pieces,
correct?
really.
Right?
Yeah.
So potentially, if Daniel Jones has another tough year, they're probably going to go QB next year.
Yeah.
So for them to take Justin Fields this year doesn't make sense at all.
No.
And now you've got a ton of draft capital. Even if they have a terrible year, they're going to have their pick, and never know, the Bears are going to Bears. They could be another high pick.
I might sound crazy. I still see a little bit of potential in Daniel Jones. I'm not ready to call him a bust or scrub or anything.
Well, I mean, he's got Kenny G out there now. So
he's got Kenny G.
Kenny G's the most.
Barkley coming back.
Yeah, that offense could be sneaky good next year.
The pick is in, so we got a couple minutes before Roger Goodell makes his way up to the stage, but the pick is in. I am very curious about this.
This is, I have to say, this is one of the most interesting drafts that I can remember as far as talent-wise.
Easily.
Do they go after Christian Darrisaw? I mean, you just got your number one quarterback. You got to protect him. I mean, we just gave tons of compliments to the Chargers for protecting Joe Herbert. Do you protect Zack Wilson like that?
I think you have to.
Yeah. Do you know the trade details on that one by chance?
What are we talking about? Chargers?
The Jets. Yeah, the Jets moved up with. Who was there just now?
Well, the Jets had. So the Jets traded away.
Oh, the Vikings. They traded with the Vikings. Huh.
So you hope. I mean,
I could see it being Darrisaw. I mean, it only makes sense. It does make sense, but for some reason, I feel defense is the.
The Jets traded up from 23 to 14 with the Vikings, gave up a 23rd, 66, 86 for 14 and 143. So really just a. Hey, Adam, can we go to Joey Cam real quick? We got to give a shout out to Joey out here putting in work, just doing what Joey does.
Mr. Personality.
Yep, the mayor. The mayor.
Yeah.
We love the mayor. So the pick is in. Roger Goodell is up.
Here we go.
Here we go.
I can hear D-Mac from here. With the soundproof headphones.
D-Mac's not a loud guy. Vera Tucker, there he is.
Tucker, there it is.
So there's talks leading up to this draft about he was very, very highly touted from a lot of NFL executives.
Look at Mac Jones like, what the fuck is going on?
He's getting the call from New England right now. Guarantee it.
It was his agent saying, listen, Aaron Rodgers went through the same thing. You're going to be fine, buddy. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
All right, but let's talk about Vera Tucker here, man. Offensive lineman, USC, big dude, hard to move, can get his feet planted. Obviously, you see he's got big feet. He's a big guy, man.
I mean, shout out to the Jets, though, doing it the right way, right? You get your quarterback, you trade up. I mean, you do give a little bit. I'm pretty sure the Jets had maybe some of the most picks in this draft, if I'm not mistaken. But I like Elijah Vera Tucker. Even if the Lions traded back, this would have been a guy I would have loved to see them take.
Yeah, and you protect your draft asset, your number one draft asset, right away too with this pick, and not to mention Trojans are known for protection.
Yeah.
Hint, drop, condom, jump. Anyway.
I mean, Pac-12, what? It's high-power offense, right? That's what the Pac-12 is known as, along with the Big 12. So, anytime you get a big offensive lineman, especially when there's a consensus around the league about a guy that's going to be able to come into the league and play immediately, I mean, Zack Wilson's got to be extremely happy with that.
Yeah, I'm sure he's He's elated.
And good for Saleh. You know, I love that he's not worried about the defensive side of the ball, because you saw it last year when San Francisco had their whole fucking team on IR. Saleh was able to pull together a defense, and they were still a top 5 defense in the league.
What, they won the last 7 games of the year?
Based on defense, really solely. So then, you know, this year you come into a new team. Obviously, you trade away Sam Darnold. You're trying to reset the offense. You have Denzel Mims from last year, like we discussed, who was supposed to be an absolute stud. Kind of flopped out in his rookie year. But then you go get your franchise quarterback. You get your next big offensive lineman, because you know you're going to be good on defense. So I love this move out of Saleh.
If you're one of these guys that get drafted,
Mac Jones. Wait, what?
No. I think that was supposed to say best available.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but if you're one of these guys, regardless of what organization, don't. If you're going for a city, what city would you want to get drafted to? Are you happy to go to a big city like New York?
Yeah.
I need him over here for this
offensive
pick.
lineman, I'm sure they don't give a
Stingray,
shit,
get over
'cause
here,
they're not
buddy.
really getting like endorsement deals either way. You know, they're not in front of cameras, nothing like that. But
I see your mic, Joey.
City-wise, give me one of those state tax-free.
You want to go to Florida or
Texas?
Texas?
Give me Florida or Texas all day.
Yeah, I can get behind that for sure.
Yeah.
All right, the Patriots are on the clock.
That was quick.
The pick is in.
By the way, how big of a douchebag is
for your
Urban
ugly
Meyer?
ass team that you got all the gear on right now? My bad. Steve Johnson. Stingray Steve.
Joey, is it going to happen?
What do you want to happen as a diehard Patriots fan?
We did not have to trade up. We're still getting Mac Jones. This is unbelievable. Let's see.
Is that who you want, Mac Jones?
Of course, Mac Jones,
The pick is in.
It's got to be.
It's got to be. He's
Come
already
on.
on the phone.
Let's do this.
Stay on Steve, Adam. I want to see this
Spit
reaction.
it out.
He's gonna have
Are you truly excited for Mac
What are
Jones?
they going to do,
though?
Joey?
Like, it's
Dude,
He's going to wipe his ass, take a shit.
We just
well,
talked
take
about
a shit,
it.
then wipe his ass, and then name this pick.
You seen Belichick sitting in the war room all by himself. All by himself.
Oh,
Damn it! I just made fun of freaking service towards the country. My bad.
We would
Salute.
never do something like that.
Salute to all of you.
we're professionals over here. We would never make that mistake.
Salute. This is my first time out here.
You should be ashamed of yourself, Joey.
So Joey's live in the VIP right now with the only Patriots
Come on.
fan
I'm
here.
excited to watch Stingray Steve pretend to be excited for Mac Jones.
You hear that? 6th time.
With Tom Brady.
Oh, you missed it. Oh, man, we missed that.
Welcome to the Electric Factory, ladies and gentlemen.
Now we got to watch Joey put that thing back by his mouth.
All right, so let's talk about Mac Jones here. I mean, the least athletic out of the 5, but the most accomplished besides Trevor Lawrence out of the 5. Is that something we can say?
Yeah.
Hold on,
Oh, we
D-Mac.
got D-Mac. We got
Hold on,
D-Mac
hold
cam.
on, D-Mac. You're not live yet. Let's go back to Joey Cam. Joey, go ahead. Hold on.
Mark my words. Tom Mazaway's second hated person in history will be Mac Jones next to Tom Brady. Can he supersede it? Tune in 3 to 5 on the hook.
Red Wings legend Darren McCarty making an appearance today. 4-time Stanley Cup champion and overall badass. We love Darren at Woodward Sports. Like you said, make sure you listen to him on the hook from 3 to 5. But let's get back to the Mac Jones highlights.
Yeah.
I mean, he made every throw that you could possibly ask a quarterback to make.
Yeah, there was so during the pro days, whenever like Trey Lance and Justin
But you
Fields.
can throw it up to Waddle. You can throw it up to Devonta Smith.
If you watch the pro day tape, there was a throw that Zack Wilson and Mac Jones made where they're just kind of trotting along on the run. It was it was a sexy ass throw. While they're trotting
When they were rolling to the left and threw it back to the right? Yeah.
Yes, I saw that from Mac Jones. I was like, oh, I see a little bit. But
I mean,
there's just the Alabama factor, man.
I don't. He's the next AJ McCarron. I don't.
I don't see that at all, man.
Yeah,
I
he's better
actually,
than him,
I
for
mean,
sure.
listen, okay, first of all, he just landed with fucking Bill Belichick.
Yeah.
I mean, they signed Cam Newton to a 1-year deal, so you know he's going to be starting next year at minimum.
Yeah.
At minimum, if not mid-season this year. He's a system quarterback.
Wow, man.
They know in New England how to build a system around a quarterback with no mobility, because Tom Brady, as much as you want to talk shit about Mac Jones, he ran a 4.7 40. Like, that may not be much compared to, Trey Lance and Justin Fields, but to Tom Brady,
Yeah, I mean, he's a bit more mobile, you could say, but at the same time, too, I just I just don't see it there with Mac Jones.
Do you want to read Tom Brady's 40 time?
5.28.
Yeah.
Did Joey beat that?
I think so.
Joey came
did
close.
beat that. I think, was Joey a 5.25?
And then let's look at Mac Jones. I believe it was a 4.7, 4.79. So, I mean, that's what's so funny. Like, you look at a guy that runs a 4.740, and you're like, hey, he's not athletic. He's not fast. He can't do it.
It's straight line speed, though. He's not agile or anything like that where he's going to be able to move around the pocket and whatnot. But, like I said, the pro day tape where he's trotting along on the run and he threw across his body, it was just perfect. Like, I can see the potential, and if there's any coach I have faith in, it's Bill Belichick.
Yeah, but can you make that throw under pressure?
The Cardinals are on the clock, and the pick is in already for the Cardinals.
This is going to be a fun team to watch over the next few years with DeAndre Hopkins, Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray, I thought he was going to have a little bit better of a year, but I think defenses are kind of starting to figure him out a little bit.
Yeah, well, and they're starting to figure out Cliff Kingsbury's offense, too.
Right.
Like, that's what happens. When Sean McVay first came in the league, it's like, oh, we've never seen this on film. NFL, once it's on film, and, the coaches get paid a lot of money to compete with that stuff.
RG3.
RG3,
another
was a
sensation.
I mean,
they got
Lamar
some tape on
Jackson.
him?
Look at Lamar Jackson this year compared to last year.
Like,
Kaepernick. He sucked anyways.
But once they got tape on him, he was,
well, he was, anyways. But, I mean, he lost his starting job to Blaine Gabbert. Like, politics aside, I don't give a shit. Blaine Gabbert.
Hey, don't shit on Blaine Gabbert like that. He's a great dude.
Yeah, a great dude. Horrible
Just won a
quarterback.
Super Bowl.
Who do you guys think the Cardinals? Yeah, who the Cardinals in with this? Well, they're going defense or offense? I feel like offense is the way Cliff Kingsbury is, but
where do they need help on offense besides running back? I guess that's the only place. Najee Harris. Najee Harris would be a nice pick here. It'd be a little early
That'd
in the
be a big
draft.
stretch, to get him.
Yeah. But really, it's not, because we were talking about this earlier. Like, when did running backs become so devalued that a 16th pick for the best running back in the draft is like, they used to go number 1, number 2, number 3.
Well,
now, last year, CEH went 32, and that was the first running back off the board.
Alabama running backs have not disappointed.
No.
They have not at all.
Well, it's the life value of him, right? So the average span in the NFL for a running back is, what, 2 to 3 years?
I believe,
maybe not a little bit more. So that's where they became a little bit devalued for, not saying it's right, but for all the right reasons. It's very rare that you keep guys around for 10-plus years when you could get an offensive lineman who's going to be here for some time.
I feel like it's offense for sure. But back to the Cliff Kingsbury and the Cardinals kind of getting figured out. Don't forget that he jumped straight from college to the NFL, and maybe that's why his offense started, fluttering out a little bit. Maybe he's not the coach that he was supposed to be.
Yeah.
Well, are we camming up Adam?
Oh, we got producer Cam coming up. We got to give Adam a mic then if we're going to give him producer Cam. Adam, at least show your beautiful face.
Here we go with the selection.
Yep, the selection. Zavon Collins. All right.
So defense.
Yeah.
This is a Tom Mazaway guy. Yeah. Tom Mazaway liked him over
Parsons. Yeah. I mean, different.
Well, they went with Isaiah Simmons last year, which was a great pick. He started the season out slow, but he ended up being good throughout the end of the season. So they're building up their defense. I mean, they got who they get. They got AJ Green already.
This guy looks like a stud.
Yeah, but
I know you. Hold on, look at this video. Dude's got his chain around his neck. He's looking good.
This guy looks like for some reason I feel like he's going to be really good.
He's a complete linebacker.
This guy's going to be a stud. This guy's going to be good.
And the Cardinals, I mean, that's a nice pick for them. What do you really do at this stage in the draft?
He seems very instinctual, though.
Yeah.
Just watching him on tape.
Yeah, but you just took Isaiah Simmons last year in your first-round pick. That's got to be a little bit of a head-scratcher, right? No?
I mean,
Isaiah
no problem having
Simmons,
2 of those guys, though. I mean, because Isaiah could switch back from safety and linebacker.
That's what I was just going to say. He's a Swiss Army knife. This guy's more of a specialist. So now you hold down your linebacker and you put Isaiah Simmons out. What's up, Art? Let me put the headphones on you real quick.
I just wanted to ask a question real quick, and it's kind of NFL related because it's involved with Joik Bell. Can somebody tell me why Joik Bell just asked me to pack up his PS5? This isn't Baligian and Bell hours anymore, right? No. He can pack your own. Joik, pack your own damn PS5. All right. This has been great. Let me say, this is the first. I met with my grandma earlier today. You know what she said to me? Oh, you're doing the draft. I love the storylines. I love seeing my grandma.
It is beautiful.
My grandma watched an NFL draft before I did. This is my first one because I'm the MMA guy.
Yeah.
You know, I will say the storylines and watching them on the couch. It's brilliant marketing and it's entertaining and it's awesome. and you guys kill it. That's all I want to say.
Appreciate you, Art.
Honest to God, one of my favorite
you.
things about the draft is you
sweaty your pants.
you literally get to see guys go from rags to riches. And it is beautiful. Like we see those guys up there crying because you just know like their life, their family's life has changed. Like,
Well, like, especially if you go in the first round, you're getting a multi-million-dollar
Right.
contract right out the
Guaranteed.
gate.
so beautiful to see, man.
Well, and that's something we also talked about earlier is usually ESPN, they love the sob stories. Like, so-and-so made it, and his mom was a crackhead, and his dad was murdered.
Well, I mean,
we haven't seen those stories this year, which is very refreshing.
Well, they got lit up last year because of it. It was...
Well, because it's not possible that every player's mom's a fucking crackhead.
Well, and it's like, let's say, all right, who's somebody, like, it's almost like they do a pre-meeting with them, like, all right, who's somebody in your family that died?
Right.
Like,
tell me the most fucked up thing that happened to you so we can highlight it on ESPN.
yeah, like, make them relive one of the worst fucking days
Right.
of their life. Brilliant.
It's true as fuck.
Congratulations, the best day of life. Do you remember when your mom died?
Right.
Like, what?
Just like,
You've come so
Jesus
far.
Do you remember that really shitty time? Yeah.
Right.
And it's never about, like, their highlights on the field. It's all about, like, let's relive your worst fucking day of your
Great
life.
fucking point. Yeah, that does
They did it with the NBA draft this year. I had to turn it off. I was like,
Yeah.
I can't watch this anymore.
Do you guys hear about DeAndre Hopkins' mom? How she had like acid spit in her face or some shit, and that's why she's blind.
Did you
She's
know-
never seen him play a down of NFL football.
Did you hear about that Clayton Kershaw guy that
Matthew
played
Stafford
with that?
went to high school?
Yeah.
Wait, what? That's crazy.
Dude, how much are they going to hear that shit now that they're both in LA?
Every
So
broadcast.
glad that's over. So glad that's over.
Somehow we're going to still get wrapped up in that.
Here's what I hated about that the most. Okay, so every time Stafford played, it got mentioned. When Kershaw played, never mentioned.
Yeah, because
Kershaw's great.
Yeah, I mean,
how many times he's been to the NLCS? How many times he's been to the World Series? How many times?
Dude, I was so hoping Rodgers was going to end up in San Fran today, man.
I thought when that news broke, I thought there was a good chance.
I was so pumped for that. What up, D-Mac?
D-Mac, hop out here real quick. Say a little thing to the people. I know you love the people. This is what it's all about. This is what Woodward Sports is all about, right, D-Mac? Getting out here, hanging out with the people, these young guys.
Oh, wow, I got the snappers in here.
Welcome to
fucking Derek McCartney right now.
Yeah, welcome to the draft, baby.
I got the social media extraordinaires and the producers and the golf coaches and everything. I got the hockey covered. So how exciting for Penei Sewell to be a Lion. I think that the excitement in the Lions room was after Jalen Waddle went at 6, where they knew they were going to get him. So I know it's not the flashy pick, but for sure it's the trenches, it's the foundation, it's just everything that we preach is going on across the road with the Wings and Steve Eisner. It just takes a little time, but I love it.
As a professional athlete, how much do you enjoy seeing young men like this be able to complete their lifetime dream of finally making it to the NFL, or when you watch the NHL draft?
Yeah, well, if it was my case, I wouldn't go till tomorrow because I went in the second round. But for anybody to get drafted, to get an opportunity to chase your lifelong dream, it's amazing for anybody. So, I mean, this is exciting. You see the different reactions from the family, from the people that are there. But what a day. I like the draft hats. Anybody comment on the draft hats?
Not yet.
Do you see how they're all the
little trucker hats
spread out, but they're all printed out with the Detroit Lions or New York Jets or whatever.
Were you surprised to see Lance over Mac Jones at 3?
Well, you know what? This is what I was telling the Maz, and I'm sure we'll touch on it tomorrow on the hook, is the fact that they sold the farm to move up and kept it really quiet, where it was always thought it was going to be Mac Jones or even Justin Fields, but Trey Lance. And this is the case of what team does the player go to, and this guy being this.
We got the Raiders pick coming up.
Pick is in.
Now, Raiders could go, they're very unconventional, right?
Najee Harris?
I think that's a bit of a stretch. I mean, I would see them potentially going defense with Jalen Phillips there from Miami.
Ooh, you got Kwity Paye of Michigan also. Ooh.
Yeah, I mean, this is where I think you're going to start seeing a lot of defensive guys go. I mean, Christian Darrisaw, I mean, that's an offensive tackle to protect Derek Carr a little bit better. I mean, you got your options out there at wide receiver now.
He does need some protection.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's getting his ass kicked.
So, I mean, this is going to be a very interesting pick for the
How
Raiders.
crazy the hype around Gruden, and it seems that they took a step back at that camp versus Del Rio.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Let's see who they go. Whoa.
Some protection.
Well, yeah, but a guy that wasn't high on a lot of these draft boards right now.
That's a giant human being.
See, I love that.
I would love to have that guy protecting me. That guy's a monster.
Listen, it's not just about the guy being drafted. It is about the family and everybody that's put in. So
yeah,
I like to see that. That's the one plus about some of the guys being at home.
Who was with you on draft night?
Everybody. From my family to my baby mama, her family, to my cousins were in town. And the way they had it, we were in the crowd in the stands. There wasn't like a green room. It was all in the stands, and then the family was sort of up top. But, you know, I got to walk down when Detroit selected me, go to the stage, get the jersey and stuff. It was awesome.
Did you shed some tears?
You know, I think later, because the moment you're too excited, you're so excited. I think if I did, it was out of excitement than it was just, oh my God, got drafted by the team, and it was just surreal. I was glad it was in Montreal because in Canada, 19 is the drinking age. And we had a good night.
Yeah. I would say D-Mac was probably drinking regardless.
And
you're right, man.
Growing up, you were the stepson of Detroit too. I mean, you were always a fan of Detroit sports growing up.
Oh, dude, 84 Tigers.
That's awesome.
Loved them. I loved the Wings when it was uncool, when they were worse than they are now, back when Mr. Ilitch was giving away cars. And I didn't understand why I was like 12 years old and I couldn't win a car. So I said, Mr. Ilitch, you're going to buy me some cars one day. And sure as heck, he bought me a whole bunch.
Love that. All right, let's talk about this Alex Leatherwood pick real quick for the Raiders. So I love this pick for the Raiders. I mean,
I love it too.
John Gruden's very unconventional in what he does sometimes, but for a team that protect Derek Carr, Josh Jacobs, you got your running back. That's why I didn't think they were going to take Najee Harris that early. Josh Jacobs has been phenomenal. Alabama connect there. So Alabama's been known to run the ball very well over the last few years. So to get a big guy like that from Alabama, I think that's an excellent pick for the Raiders.
It's stock when you come out of the Saban program and stuff like that, especially offensive linemen. You know, you're almost NFL ready. It's the same thing going back to the Trey Lance. He went to the perfect organization with Kyle Shanahan, John Lynch, and what they have to learn.
He's going to be a great fantasy quarterback to have once he's ready to step in and play.
It's going to be right, exactly. He's going to mature and nurture behind. I don't expect to see him, but. You know, who else do you want whispering in his ear than Kyle Shanahan?
Absolutely. Easy literally just said those same exact things before you came on. So we got the...
Yeah, because he heard me.
Got the Dolphins. Got Dolphins. Next pick is in. I believe the Dolphins have 5 picks inside the top 50 or something like that.
For the next 4 years, man.
Yeah,
these guys are set.
Yeah, well, they've traded everybody away in the last 5 years. This is another team. They took Jalen Waddle, wide receiver, so you got Tua some options, right?
Yeah.
So I think now, especially after I would think defense, after especially traded Minka Fitzpatrick away 2 years ago to the Steelers.
Yeah.
So, I mean, don't be surprised if they go secondary.
Or maybe the tackle. What was the last name? Darashaw.
Darashaw, yeah.
Yeah, protect.
That sounds like a MMA fighter.
It does.
I mean, if you're a Dolphin fan, you have to be excited for this draft. This is going to be crucial to their quote-unquote rebuild and what they can do over the next few years.
If you're a Dolphin fan, what do you want, offense or defense? I feel like I want some protection for Tua.
I think, one, you got your quarterback last year with Tua.
Yeah.
You got Jalen Waddle now, who you got a real option on the outside.
Alabama.
Who's pounding that ball for him? Who's the running back there right now? I can't think off the top of my head.
It's slipping by, kind of a guy that came out of nowhere. It's slipping my mind, but he ended up having a great year. He's a great fantasy running back. I'll have to look it up, but they're picks.
Adam, do you know running back for Miami? Oh, wow. He stayed in Miami.
Defensive end.
Yeah. Listen, the numbers this kid has is insane, but when I watch him on tape, a little robotic, but, like, he gets to the quarterback either way. So, I mean, we'll see. We'll see.
So, I mean, you got Jordan Howard that was down there, right? Came over from Philadelphia last year.
Okay, that's who it was.
And then
there's 2 guys.
They had the rookie came out of nowhere last year. Let me pull up his. It's literally slipping my mind.
Wow, man, he gets to stay in Miami. That's awesome for him.
It's kind of like the J.C. Horn situation. Played South Carolina, and then now you get to go up to Charlotte and play with those guys. Myles Gaskin,
that's right. That's it.
Yep. So Gaskin was a great running back. I actually have them on one of my dynasty league. So
who else is on that defensive line from Miami? You think of any names?
I can't think of. They've traded so many guys away over the last couple of years that it's kind of hard to keep up with that roster. Especially they're not a big team in the AFC East that you're going to pay attention to like the Patriots or.
And they just missed the playoffs too. I feel like people are really discounting them and forgetting that because you got to remember too they also alternated quarterbacks.
Do you think they make the playoffs last year if they leave Fitzpatrick?
If they leave Fitzpatrick in?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, they were just outside the playoffs. I'm damn sure they're one game out of making the playoffs, and no one expected them to play as well. They're 5-0 to start the season.
Yeah.
You know, and they have a great front office. I like their head coach. They're on the right track. And now that they got this guy, if he plays half as good as he did in Miami, coupled with everything else they have,
Listen, you take anybody that plays football at Miami, they're going to be a dog.
Yeah.
No doubts about it.
For sure. They're you. It's all about the you.
This Washington pick, I would expect that as good as Washington's building and stuff like that, until they change the ownership, they'll never win.
No, absolutely not.
Alex Smith retired. Who's there at the quarterback?
Kyle Allen.
XFL guy? Kyle Allen?
Fitzy, baby.
Oh, yeah.
Fitzmagic, come on.
Yeah, but they got Kyle Allen from Carolina last year.
But Pilar is all greasy because Fitzmagic and the beard on his 2018.
It's going to be the Fitzmagic revenge season.
Well, man, Dos Dion getting to meet Joyce Bell. That's a beautiful sight to see, man. His kid's a big Lions fan. Grinding.
I'm with D-Mac, though. I think this Washington football team needs a lot of help. I think it stems from a cultural standpoint, like you said, D-Mac. So, I mean, this is a type of
see you tomorrow, bud.
This is a type of pick that no matter what they do, it shouldn't enhance their roster. But if I'm a player, this is probably one of the last organizations I want to go to.
Man, you want to say that, right, about them and the Bears, but the reality is they both made the playoffs last year.
Yeah, but the Bears got a good culture there. They're missing one piece, and that is a quarterback. It's safe that their defense is still going to be nasty to deal with year in and year out. They need their piece, and they got Justin Fields now. So
that tape did look a little scary. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, so I mean, you think about that with that roster. If I'm Washington, though, I mean, they could do a numerous. They need so many pieces on that side of the ball.
I'm really my brain's fucking grinding here to try to come up with a name of who they're taking here.
I mean, this could be this is right around where Kwity Paye, where I thought he would go.
I was thinking Kwity Paye. It's the blue one, I think. Yeah, there we go. Pick is in, but they're not announcing nothing.
Yeah, so we got a couple minutes as they're still at commercial break. But this is kind of where I expected Kwity Paye to kind of come out at. Is I expected them in the 19 to 20 area.
Yep. And then you add them to a line that already features Chase Young, which kind of opens up things for him.
Right. So it's, I mean,
could you
imagine having Kwity Paye on one side and Chase Young on the other?
Yeah, that's probably what I would do. Just to allow Chase Young to cause a little bit more chaos. Give me a guy at the other end that maybe clean up.
I mean, it's not like they really need help in the secondary either. Their secondary is rated the number one pass defense throughout the 2020 season. So I would imagine they're going to go receiver here and take who is it? I think Elijah Moore. That would be Rondé Moore. Excuse me. Yeah. So
Rondé Moore. There's another guy. Who's the other guy at LSU?
Yeah, Terrence Marshall. He's going to be a
probably be early second round, maybe bottom of the first.
Yeah, I would imagine he's going to be a second round type guy. That's a guy that the Lions could hopefully end up with.
Yeah. Man, yeah, this is a tough one. I'm having trying to, I guess, let's see what's the rumors or what's buzzing around them on Twitter.
Who they going with, Mikey?
I mean, I could see, like I think they have to go. Someone else to go with Terry McLaurin.
I'm surprised they didn't draft up or trade up and try to get one of these quarterbacks.
Yeah, but they could go. Who's the safety out of? I think Washington.
Cisco.
That could be it. That's slipping my mind. But who do you, D-Mac? Who do you want to see Lions going around to?
Yeah, it depends. Yeah, you can start picking away on probably linebacker to start looking there.
Yeah, you got to address it. Our defense last year ranked worse than 0-16-1. Did you know that?
Yeah, that was
hot. And our head coach, defensive coordinator.
It was hot garbage, man.
Yeah,
hot garbage.
Any names that you?
I was thinking Trayvon Moorick from TCU.
What's he play?
He's safety.
But
like I said, I mean, their defense is pretty. This is kind of an oddball pick. This is like the one team in the draft that I don't really expect who they're going to go with. So I mean, we'll wait for Goodell to come out and say that But I feel like they're the type of team that's just going to take someone that's the best available.
Yeah. Can we talk about how big of a douchebag Urban Meyer is for taking the full 10 minutes to draft Trevor Lawrence, who we already knew was going there
So
for
I
the
always
past
thought-
6 months?
I always
What a
thought about that.
D-bag.
He said he was going to
What a
do
D-bag.
it.
I think that's a media type thing. I think ESPN wants them to do
Yeah.
that. I don't think that's
Let us get some commercial
necessarily
breaks
the
in.
team.
Yeah, well, I'm
Here we
throwing it
go.
all on him. Douche. Running back.
Jamin Davis out of Kentucky.
Linebacker.
So this was a guy that was actually slated to go at that.
Jamin Davis.
He was slated to actually go at the back end of the first round and maybe even in the second round. But as weeks leading up to this draft, he was a guy that continued to pop up a lot of people's draft boards. So I'm actually not surprised to see him go there
I'm excited to see some
19.
film on him.
He's a beast, man.
He's
Watch
big,
this.
6'4", 234.
Let's see him.
He's a big boy.
See him in
He can
action.
play. I mean, that Kentucky defense was pretty solid last year. I mean, people look at Kentucky they look at them as a basketball school. They don't really look at them as a football school. But, I mean, that's a sneaky good pick for that Washington team. Now you got him on the back end with Chase Young. So the way they're building that defense in Washington is becoming pretty scary. So even if they have a little bit of a tough year next year, they'll look to go receiver. Quarterback next year.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm almost surprised they didn't maybe trade back to have some more capital to do that next year.
You know what? As confusing or I guess not knowing which direction, this is something where you see a pick by a team and you go, oh, okay, this is what they're doing. You look at the Lions going in the second round. That's what you wanted. You look at when the Lions took Sewell first round. Up front, that's something that's stability, right?
Yep.
So now what are you going to do? You want the Lions to tell a story to us, the fans, just like what Washington just did to their defense.
And don't forget, their head coach, Ron Rivera, took a trip to the Super Bowl, kind of driven by his defense, man.
Well,
I know
and-
Cam Newton MVP that year.
And Ron Rivera is a former linebacker in the NFL, so he loves linebackers. So
yeah,
that's not
this makes sense.
That
This
makes
does
a lot
make
of sense.
Yeah.
Now we got New York on the clock, who I like to think they just fleeced the Chicago Bears when they got.
I cannot believe the Bears.
I'm not not surprised by that. If they could come up and get them, I mean, why wouldn't they do that? So
yeah, but that's a lot.
I mean, it is a lot.
Again, you look at the Eagles who moved up from just a
Maz
third.
is so bent right now.
Why?
Because every pick, he's so mad. He's so mad Mac Jones went to freaking slid down the draft and went to New England. He's so mad we took a linebacker. He's so mad at his Jets team. He's so mad he doesn't even care.
Mad at the Jets? I feel like they made all of the right
look,
moves.
he does right now. We're at the number 20 pick, and he's a
He's sitting
Giants
there
fan,
frumping.
and he's over there.
I mean, if
Alligator
should someone let him know what the Giants just got from the Bears? Does he not know yet?
Yeah, he has to not know because they fleeced him.
I mean, they got a first round draft pick out of next year. They got
Hey guys,
a third
don't-
round pick,
don't
and then
tell
a
him.
third round pick in
Don't
this year's
tell
draft.
him. Let him whine if he wants to whine.
Week 1, who starts for the Bears? The Red Rifle or
Andy
Justin
Dalton.
Fields?
Yeah, Andy Dalton. No doubt about it.
Yeah.
They're gonna it's gonna be something. I
How
think.
long till you start?
I think it's gonna be very similar to the Miami Dolphins situation that we just experienced with them this past year. I
Yeah.
think you're gonna let Dalton play as many games as he can, and the first sign of stress, they're gonna throw Justin Fields in there. Look, that team is built.
Yeah.
I mean, they do a lot of things right. I mean,
Playoff team.
Allen Robinson's back on that offensive side of the ball. It's hard. From a Lions fan, you have to think like that's kind of a scary team now, especially if Justin Fields lives up to the potential that I think he can.
Yeah, if Justin Fields lives up to. Honestly, I think he's the most pro-ready guy other than Trevor Lawrence in this draft at the quarterback position. Everybody else is kind of more like based off what they can be.
He had one bad game against Penn State.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? Mac Jones is so set up. Trey Lance going perfect. That's the perfect system for Belichick and him as far as the non-mobile, cerebral quarterback that is as smarter than everybody, as mobile as he is. But that's a brilliant. And that's why Maz is crying in his soup right now, is because Belichick wins again. Brady and Belichick both win, and Maz hates it.
I'm still, like I said, I'm still not sold on Mac Jones just yet. I mean, they don't. They got N'Keal Harry.
I'm not sold on him yet either.
He's only really got one option at the receiver spot right now. So can he take a lacrosse player and turn him into an NFL star
He
like he
has
did with Chris
before.
Hogan?
Yeah.
No, I'm talking about can Mac Jones do that? We've seen Tom Brady do it.
Yeah.
We just
I think a lot of that stuff, honestly, and then no disrespect to Tom Brady, the guy has 7 rings. It may look like luck or like sound like luck, because it does blow my mind. But Belichick, he's a great coach. I think we forget, too, that there were times last year for that New England team where they had the one COVID situation heading into Kansas City where they didn't come into the day before. Cam Newton didn't play. They had the most, out of all the teams in the NFL, they had the most guys step out because of the COVID situation.
And they missed the playoffs by, what, a game and a half or 2 games or something? Or 2 games?
Couple of them. I think they're 7-9. I think they were something like that.
If you look at the season that they had at quarterback, that's... Watch out! It's New England. It's Bill Belichick.
Yeah, you give Cam Newton another off season in that offense as well.
All right, Giants pick is up.
Grab that laptop.
Giants picks in. Let me laugh. What do you want? Laptop?
Yeah.
Take that over here. Slide on up here, Mikey.
All
TikTok.
right, Mikey TikTok. All right, boys. Good job.
Hey, D-Mac. Thanks for coming out,
Thanks
man.
for hopping on, Matt. D-Mac. All right, Mikey, hop on up here.
Wow, imagine going from Darren McCarty to Mike.
Yeah, it's a big
We're
letdown.
on the 4th line right now.
Big letdown.
How are you guys?
We're the Detroit Grinders, baby.
Oh yeah, the Detroit Grinders. You guys have been here.
We're the new grind line.
Oh, we are the new grind line. You're Drapes. You kind of look like Drapes. I'm not gonna lie.
I love Chris Draper. He's one of my favorite Red Wings of all time.
All right, Giants are picking. What are you thinking right now, Nick?
I think they got to go defense.
Yeah,
I mean,
their defense has been atrocious, and outside of what they had. One really big high pick, Eli Apple. That was way back in the day, though.
And Eli Apple's playing for the Saints now.
Yeah,
so.
and they've been trying for years to get that defense right ever since that Super Bowl, and it still hasn't connected for them.
I'm thinking. I had the headphones off. What would you guys pick? Who you guys think they're going with?
I think they're going defense. I don't know exactly what position that you could go. You could go Caleb Farley, or you could go Kwity Paye, Michigan. I mean.
Gettleman's a big offensive line guy, though.
Caleb Farley is a stud. I had to watch his tape at Virginia Tech, and he getting locked down. You compare him to guys like Surtain. Obviously, he's not that skill level, but that would give them a lot of shoring up at that position, especially in their division that just got a few new receivers.
I think I'm bulking up my line a little bit, though.
Yeah, but when you got a guy that you've invested.
You think Darashaw? You think Darashaw from Virginia?
Let's think. Yeah, we have to include the fact that Saquon.
I'm 2 for 2, by the way. No big deal.
Saquon, by the way, the pick is coming in right now. Got Saquon's broken knee, and we got to see what they're gonna do.
All right, here we go. I'm thinking it's defense.
It's a toss-up.
I wanted to ask, when is Burrow coming back?
Kadarius Toney, wide receiver out of Florida.
Wow. Even over Elijah Moore from Ole Miss.
Oh, man, he looks so sad right now. There's no reaction yet.
What?
Wow.
Delayed. Let's analyze this a little bit. So you take Kadarius Toney out of Florida, a guy that I honestly thought was going to be in the second round.
Yeah, me too.
I didn't expect him coming this high, but obviously New York sees something that they like there with him.
And ever since Odell left, they've struggled to find that number one guy.
You got Kenny Galladay now.
Yes.
You got Darius Slayton, and now you got Toney there. Daniel,
it's a second-round guy in my opinion.
It is 5'11", 199.
But that's the slot. They're looking for their slot guy, right? So you got your 2 outside with Slayton and Galladay. So you need that slot guy.
That smaller, speedy guy, and that's what we're seeing from him right now.
You got Galladay, you have Ingram who can catch the ball.
Yeah, look at that.
I don't know why.
Very shifty. Look at the separation he gets off of the line right at the first time. Makes that catch off balance, too.
I guess the thing for me is, you can get him in the second round, though.
Yeah.
You know?
I'm not sure what the Giants have in the second round exactly, but, I mean, this pick makes sense. They're kind of in the similar situation that the Lions are in. Look, they have to build up one side of the ball to get to the other. So I think this year they're trying to get those offensive pieces. You got Galladay on a 4-year deal. You've got
this guy does look pretty.
And you got a guy like Saquon on the last year. They just picked up his 5th-year option. He can sign anywhere he wants after this, really.
Now this gives them the option too. If Daniel Jones does not have a good year, they can look in the draft and try to go after a big quarterback next year. So to me, this pick makes sense.
Yeah.
Again, they got some huge picks out of the Chicago Bears. So they're building for the future. This is not a type of guy that they're going to come in and expect to have a huge highlight reel year. But at 19 or 20, We've seen crazier things happen before.
This year for the Giants, like I said, is all about proving it to Saquon and saying, look, Daniel Jones, we gave you all the tools now. If you can't work with that, we're going to try to have to move on. And then at the same time, trying to retain the best running back the franchise has had in this decade. So we'll see how that works
they did
out.
fleece the Bears. You know,
They did.
Let me see if that trade is actually still up on one of these
So
tabs here.
here's the most complete team in my eyes coming up here, picking at 21 in the Indianapolis Colts. So this is actually the team where I thought Matthew Stafford was going to go.
Yes.
I think a lot of that fans wanted him there, and now they got Carson Wentz, right? So they've got one of the best offensive lines out there with Quentin Nelson out there.
Great defense.
You got a great defense. What else could they use? Another receiver?
Yeah, I'm thinking receiver.
I'm throwing another wide receiver at these guys for
So
sure.
do you think Elijah Moore, or do you even think you got Travis Etienne out of Clemson, the running back?
Oh, I like
he's
De'Ami
cold.
Brown, I think, from North Carolina.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of his. Listen, too, Carson Wentz, when healthy, before that Super Bowl year, on his way to MVP season.
Yes.
Yeah,
he was killing it.
And now
then, don't forget the head coach of this Colts team,
Frank Wright.
Yes, Frank Wright, the offensive coordinator in that, not MVP season, but what was looking like an MVP season for Carson
they
Wentz.
blamed the departure of Reich, coupled with the lack of receivers, the lack of a line, for that fall of Wentz. And if they can give him a complimentary piece, because Pittman's great, I love Pittman, but if you can go and get another guy, and maybe they want to shore up, maybe get another tight. I don't understand where else they would go, because their team is fantastic as it is.
Well, I think T.Y. Hilton's on a one-year deal there, so don't be surprised if they go receiver with this pick again.
I'm thinking receiver for sure.
I would imagine.
T.Y. Hilton's production's been atrocious the past few years as well.
He's getting older, right?
Yeah,
So-
he's like 30-something now.
And Michael Pittman showed a lot of promise last year out of Notre Dame. So
and he's your big body target too. So like maybe you go this draft to grab another speedy guy.
Yeah, so it's kind of take your poison. It's kind of what the Giants just did is take a receiver that you truly fall in love with. Someone that, you go down the list here, it could be Bateman out of Minnesota. That's a guy who I thought was going to end up in the second round, but based on the way this first round's going and the amount of receivers flying off the board, he could end up somewhere in Tennessee or even a little bit farther down the line.
Yeah, I think it's receiver for sure. Now, that team is stacked everywhere. Honestly, not stacked, but like they're pretty great position. Almost every position on the football team, other than receiver. It's like one of those luxury picks.
What do you guys think about them potentially going Kwity Paye? They may just shore up that D-line. Kwity Paye is a stud. I did not expect him to be here at 21 of all things. The pick is in right now, by the way.
We're gonna cut over to our boy Corey though real quick. He just got off a press conference with Penny Sewell. So
who was a Lions fan, by the way, growing up?
Yeah, so he's going to welcome here to Detroit. So I think Adam's going to take us over there.
Good looks, Adam.
Man, welcome to Detroit. Man, thank you. All right, so Dan Campbell has tough along with the entire coaching staff this whole offseason. What do you feel about your game is going to bring that toughness and fit that Detroit culture that they're looking for?
Again, it goes back to my mindset. Because ultimately it's a mindset. Just like you said, he's going to everyone talking about this is how we're approaching the game. And so I'm bringing that mindset. I'm joining that culture.
I can't hear it either.
Team with that same mindset that really run through anybody. And coming each and every day, putting on the pads, really get under somebody's chin and make them feel uncomfortable. So, man, just coming in and joining him on that, it's cool.
And outside of going to your conference, what's going to be the first thing, your press conference, what's going to be the first thing you're going to do when you get here to the D?
I don't even know. To be honest, I don't know much about the Detroit. Once I get out there, I'll probably hit up Tyrell's one because that's big bro.
I'm sure he said great
things. You just love hearing that from a guy like Penny Sewell coming to Detroit. I loved hearing those words from him. He's so well-spoken, and just to have a guy like that in the city, I love hearing a guy who's that vocal and is going to take a leadership position in this team as the stud guy in Detroit. I'm so happy to have him here.
Mikey TikTok, you may be the best salesman here at Woodward Sports.
God damn. I'm like, wait, could he hear it and we just didn't?
Yeah, no, I think everyone heard us say when we didn't have audio, but it's awesome that he's already talking to Detroit media. Our own Corey Woods was there live with him, so I can't wait to catch that video. I'm sure it's going to be up on all of our social media, so make sure you follow us on Instagram at Woodward Sports, Twitter, and Facebook. So that's great news for us and where we're going with the network. But Getting back to this draft and where we're at, so the Colts pick is in at 21. And again, I think they, like we said, I think their options are endless. I think you guys I think Mikey, you like defense with Kwity Paye. I think they're going receiver to add more depth, especially with this being the last year of T.Y. Hilton.
I just think the skill available with Kwity Paye, I'm very biased as a Michigan fan, but he is a stud. Michigan has produced countless defensive talents. I'm thinking going best talent here would be nice, but they do need that extra receiver for Wentz because he just went a whole season in Philly without anyone to throw to, basically.
I feel like that's forgotten, too, with the judgment of him. Like when people, kind of harsh on him a little bit, but, again, not a lot of receiver help there in Philadelphia.
Yeah, so a quick mention before Roger Goodell makes his pick. So this is, if Kwity Paye does go here, it'll be Michigan and Michigan State will have one of the longest running consecutive drafts with the player picked from their university. So I think they're top 4 along with, I want to say USC or something. I can't think of the other, but there's 4 colleges that have since the modern era, 25 consecutive years of having an NFL player in the drafts.
Who do you think is going this year for
Given
MSU?
the pick right now.
Kwity Paye.
Called it. Let's go.
Defensive end.
Called it, baby.
I didn't have it on my mind, but as soon as you said it, it made sense.
They're going
because it's
that's
a
what I'm
great,
saying.
it's great
He's
value.
a great value at that pick. So shore that up. I'm so happy for Kwity Paye to be going to Indianapolis. He is a great rusher. He can get to the quarterback, gets around the lineman with ease. He's fast. I love his story, too.
I mean, he reminds me a lot of Devin Bush that just came out of there and is playing for the Pittsburgh Steelers. He got hurt, obviously, last year, but, look at that.
Wow.
Michigan's got a great track record of
he's gonna be
producing good defensive ends.
Yes.
He's going to be a stud for the Colts. Great pick.
I mean, look at that. Value. Just an absolute monster on the defensive side.
The numbers were just down this year. That was it. Because the year before, this guy's what, top 10? Mm-hmm. You know?
Yeah. And you're playing on a dismal Michigan squad, during the season. So obviously your numbers, and look at that. Getting to the quarterback, being able to get to the ball while being physical is such a great skill for him to have.
Well, and this kind of begs the question too: is like if he opts out of this year, where does he go? I mean, we've seen it with Sewell and a few other guys that did that hurt his stock playing this year?
Yeah, it did.
Yeah.
I mean, it did. It truly, because again, heading into last year, before the 2020 season, top 10 pick easily.
Yeah. And just for them to get that there, the Titans, we're already, under 5 minutes actually right now into their pick. And I think they're another team. They did lose Corey Davis. So they might be going Rashad Bateman here. They love those Midwestern receivers. So what do you guys think about this next selection?
I think it's Elijah Moore out of Ole Miss. I think that's their guy for sure. You're going to see...
Give us some background on Elijah Moore.
Yeah.
It's an SEC team, right? Playing at Ole Miss, it's
right
it's hard. It's hard not to like a position player or pretty position player like a receiver out of an SEC school. I consider the SEC to be more of a NFL ready type environment.
Offensive juggernauts.
Obviously, I didn't watch a lot of Ole Miss games this year, but if you look at his highlight tape, it speaks volumes for itself.
Man, I really like this Kwity Paye pick for the Colts, though.
Oh, man.
Now I'm looking to, they still have Darius Leonard. They have DeForest
so they're already
Buckner.
one of the top defenses in the league, and now you add a guy like Kwity Paye.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, how it just that team just becomes more and more lethal. All right, we're gonna thank Mikey TikTok hopping on here. We're gonna welcome the man back in.
Hey guys,
welcome back.
What up, though?
Shit, man, it's almost 11 o'clock and Whitmer is shutting this bitch down.
Kobe just comes out at 11. It's weird.
I could do this till 1 a.m.
I know.
Yes,
I know.
I'm down.
Honestly, this has been such a magical night, and I use that term very seriously. I got goosebumps when we had a whole crowd behind us chanting for an offensive lineman.
When's the last time, as a Lions fan, that you started off the season, you trade Stafford away, you get all this first-round capital, especially with 2022 is even going to be a bigger draft for us.
Right.
But you walked out of this thinking you got a guy that we didn't think was going to be there.
Right. And guess what? We got more picks tomorrow.
Yeah. Now
look at Joey strolling through this bitch.
Shit.
All right, see you, easy.
All right, before we wrap this up, what's your prediction for the Lions tomorrow?
Tomorrow they got to go wide receiver.
I think so too.
I think that's where you go. I was shocked to see Tooney go this high in the draft.
Yeah, that's what we were saying.
I did not think he was the fourth best wide receiver coming
Not
out.
at all.
You got Nico Collins, you got Elijah Moore still on the board. I love Rashad Bateman. Any of those guys falling to us in the second round, I'm going to be ecstatic about, because like I was pointing out earlier, to me there has been tiers to this whole draft, and they're very similar. You got your one guy that's the main guy across the top. You got your Trevor Lawrence, you got your Jamar Chase. Then you got your secondary tier of, your Zack Wilsons, Justin Fields, Trey Lance, and, on the wide receiver end, you know who I'm talking about. So then you get this third tier, which is so wide open, and everybody's pretty much equal.
Yeah.
And so I'm excited for the way the Lions are going. And oh, shit. Well, doesn't look like we're going to get Elijah Moore.
Good call. So that's what we said. I expected Tennessee, especially with Corey Davis walking out of there this offseason. That was
Oh, they're just showing through. Okay, never mind. They're showing the wide receivers I was just highlighting. Stop that!
I like the guy from North Carolina, De'Ami Brown. Is that how you say it? I like him. That's what I'm thinking, but, obviously ESPN has the other guys in favor.
Yeah, well, they're fucking idiots, and that's okay.
If Terrace Marshall Jr. is there tomorrow for the Lions, that's two. You get your two
big
guys.
Body target too. Oh man,
that's what I'm saying. We're just named 4 guys that we'd all be okay to have.
Yeah.
So I like what the position the Lions have put themselves in, and I've liked what the position they put themselves in since they made the trade with Stafford.
Yeah, and today's so beautiful, man. You can convince yourself anything, really.
Yeah.
And again, it's a 2-year process. So you get your offensive pieces this year. Build that offense. Boom. Let's go all out next year on defense, especially if Jared Goff has a great year.
Yeah. Oh, God. Can you imagine if Goff had a great year?
How good would Brad Holmes? They'd start building the trophy, the statue out front.
I would start building it. It would look like shit, but I would start building that.
Just get the base put in the ground.
Yeah, I'm waiting on that statue.
But this is honestly,
if we win a playoff game, build that fucking statue all day.
This is honestly the first time we've been confident in the competency of the brass in a long, long time. I mean, the Millen era, you didn't trust any of those motherfuckers. Mayhew, he was a leftover from Millen. You don't trust that. Bob Quinn, the Patriot way. I don't want anybody else's way. I don't want Andy Reid's way. I don't want Bill Belichick's way. I want to pave our own route, which is what this man right here is doing, because this is the Detroit way.
Hey, where can you get that shirt, by the way?
WoodwardSports.com. Click on shop. But for real, this is what this guy is doing. He's creating a culture that if he can only speak this way to Detroiters. Because when he did all that shit in his first press conference, the rest of the nation went crazy on it. Like, what's he saying? This is bad. For us, it's like, yeah, man, we want to eat kneecaps. Like, that's Detroit. So, I mean, what a draft night.
I never thought we'd come out. I didn't think Sewell was going to be there. I've never celebrated a draft pick like that in years.
Everdom.
Yeah. So thank both of you guys for being a part of this, man. I appreciate everything you guys bring to the conversation and bring to the table. You know how I feel about both y'all. Y'all the future of Woodward Sports. In a couple years, I'm going to hang up my hat from doing this shit, and I want to come to the draft party where it's just you guys holding it down for 4 hours.
And we appreciate the opportunity. So this has been an absolute. We got to sit up here with Darren McCarty, you guys that have been in this Detroit area for a long time. So it hasn't hit me yet. It's been very surreal. So I cannot look forward to the more opportunities that I get with this network.
Well, we got to thank Adam and our whole production team. Justin, Mikey TikTok was editing videos, Alex, the producer, like everybody. This was such a team effort, and the thought process behind the graphics and everything. Like, we're trying to up our game, and we're doing it by leaps and bounds. So I got to thank everybody. Joey for doing his thing, Art. You just can't thank everybody enough here. It's a truly team thing going on that we have. Good vibes we got going on, and I love it, man. So thank you guys for being a part of this. Thank everybody for watching, for commenting, for sharing, for liking. We appreciate you. It's 11 o'clock. Whitmer says you got to go, so guess what? We got to go. We'll cover it all tomorrow morning, 8 a.m. The Morning Woodward Show is going to be on. We'll talk about Penny Sewell. We'll talk about trading up. We'll talk about trading down. We'll talk about day 2. Lots of stuff happening. Most exciting day of the year for Lions fans. Thank you guys for being a part of it. 2021 NFL Draft live on Woodward.